All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, so that can only one thing. It is time for the fastest rising pro wrestling live stream podcast on the internet today. It is time for Tooney Talk TV. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and I am happy to bring you guys another exciting action-packed week. Well, not so much action. We're going to sit around. We're going to talk about some things. But I can't do it by myself, folks, so I need my regular panel here with me. And here they come, folks. Joining me first, as always, you know him, you love him. He's got his own entrance video. There he is, folks, Mr. Kevin Apollo. Hello, my friend.
Hello, brother. Thank God we had that entrance video, because the shirt I had on, I realized that I was dying. I was going to pass out.
You were wearing like a full-on sweater, and at first I was like, you know what? We could totally like gamify this. We can like make a super chat goal for you to like put the tank top on, but that felt a little bit too much like prostitution, and I felt like we were getting a little too close.
We can do that next time. I have no problem being objectified. I'm married.
We were getting a little too close to the line there, and I was like, oh, hold on, better put the brakes on. All right, guys. Now, look, after our live stream, on for AEW WrestleDream, I got a lot of calls, guys, a lot of letters, a lot of outraged people, because one of our panelists is the worst human being on the face of the planet. And a lot of people calling for his cancellation over the things that he said and admitted to, but not me. I don't do that. I don't play that game. So here he is, folks, live for your hate. AEW disciplinary, aka Dis. How dare you show your face?
I didn't. I turned my cam off because
you did.
No, there.
Notice that. Oh, Kev, you missed it. He admitted to like such horrible things. He stole a piece of Hulk Hogan's t-shirt from a little girl when he was a kid. I mean, like, you know,
this.
Oh man, he faked a relative's death to get out of work, and they sent bereavement flowers to his house, and so he took them and gave them to his mother for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's timing. That's kismet.
I was 17. I was 17.
And apparently didn't give his cat treats for 11 years. Oh, so you're not popping for that one.
No, that's a little rough.
Oh, come on. You give your cat treats. You buy treats for your cat.
I do buy treats for my cat.
I didn't know cats ate treats. My brother told me when I was little that cats didn't eat treats, and I believed him. And so I never gave my cat treats.
Wow.
Listen, I forgive you. It's all a part of your origin story.
I give them to him now, so I'll say that much.
Your teen years are like watching the Penguin.
For real. Which, by the way, did you watch the latest episode, Kev? Because we'll talk about it Thursday.
No, I did not watch this one just yet.
All right, we'll talk about it Thursday. I got mixed feelings on it because it kind of took the only cool female character on TV right now and kind of gave her a story of I was actually good, but men did me wrong.
Oh, I got you.
Which I thought was weird. Which I didn't like, but I still like the character. I still like the show. It's still the best show on TV. But also, folks, joining us right now to talk about some of what he feels are the worst shows on TV, the one and only Awful Wrestling.
Peace, everybody. Somebody check on Max. He's not chained up in the basement somewhere, is he?
I know, right? Like, yeah, you gotta wonder, man, when you've got a guy like this unstable as part of your team.
Yeah, really.
He told this story, Kev, where Hulk Hogan ripped his shirt at a show, and he was in one of the front rows, and the ring announcer cut the shirt up and handed it out to all the kids, and the little girl in front of him started freaking out because she dropped her piece of Hulk Hogan's shirt, and he looked on the ground and he saw it, and he picked it up and put it in his pocket and said, cool, now I have two.
You know, I can't say that I may not have. No, I would have done that. I would have been tempted. I would have stared. It's the Hulkster. Everyone knows I love the Hulkster.
There was no eBay back then, so it wasn't like, keep one, sell the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
if I to be fair,
may
if
have
I
had a
was
Frodo looking at the ring moment.
to be fair, if I was 9 years old and had the foresight to pick it up and sell it on eBay, I'd be an entrepreneur. You people would be cheering me right now.
You're
Because of-
essentially Louis Duck from the new DuckTales.
We'd be chopping on Disbay.
Oh,
This
my
is the type of
goodness.
guy that would catch a baseball and wouldn't hand it to the younger kids around.
100%. No, he's the
Yep.
guy that reaches in front of the kid. Like, remember on
No.
Practical
Yep.
Jokers when they gave Joe Gatto that whole thing where he like kept stealing the balls from all the kids?
no, I would never do that. I'm an adult now. That was when I was a child. Give me
Uh-huh. I'm sure.
I would always give. I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
All right. Speaking of our speaking of our live stream from this weekend, what an amazing show it was. And I'm not talking about the AEW show. I'm talking about our show. We got to talk about this AEW show. But first, guys, we got some super chats. We got some people that are trying to talk to us, and they're paying money to do it. So we got to let them know that we hear them. John JID 999 checking in for 199. Power to the 199 says AEW has really run me off. I feel like a loser watching. Yeah. I mean, I understand it.
John Jay, I've got some advice for you. All you've got to do is just wait till 10 o'clock and go on YouTube and watch their little clips, because it's essentially the entire show on their YouTube right after the show.
It's everything of
Right
note, right? Like it's all like the stuff you would need to know to catch up.
They even include the botches. They even include the nonsense.
That's true. They don't edit it.
They don't edit squat.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Where do you think I get my material from?
Good job, Awful.
Brother out. That's all.
Milwaukee for $2 Canadian says highlight of the pay-per-view was definitely the stream. Yeah, I'm glad we could bring some light to the darkness for you
awesome.
all. I mean, look, if you watch Wrestling with Regret, I mean, you'd think that this was this was the pay-per-view.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind.
God, that guy.
Really.
I cannot abide that guy, because this guy was one of the announcers that Tony Khan fired the second he got ROH, and he does nothing but he gave that show an A-.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I saw people who are like super generous to AEW, and they're like, "This is one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen."
I don't know if he thinks he's going to get his job back one day. I don't know if most of his fans are just AEW fans, and you have to appease them, because if you say one critical thing about AEW, you're going to get destroyed. I don't know, but he gave it an A-. You and Cumia for $5. The live stream was the only way I could ever watch an AEW pay-per-view. Well, I don't recommend paying $50 for it unless you're making a hefty profit.
Brother. Yo.
Perfect timing.
My new favorite thing.
Yeah, you couldn't wait to show that to Kev on Saturday.
All right, Cat TV for $199. What is the theme song? Shazam can't identify it. I don't know. What is look, I don't even know what it is. It's just a song that I was given and told this is a song that will never get you flagged.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah. I don't know if
speaking of-
it's not something you could find and download. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I got a question about Brian Zane, our boy Brian Zane.
Okay.
Is he worse or better than Grace Randolph?
He's better than Grace Randolph.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it's necessary to choke a person with a plastic bag. I've been choked by a plastic bag before, and it wasn't that bad.
It's called autoerotic asphyxiation, and it's quite erotic.
Choke me, Danny.
Kevin Tram for $10. The only reason to follow AEW anymore is to hear about the drama behind the scenes and the stories about how incompetently the company is being run. Absolutely. This is 100%. God, this company, like, it just finds new ways to fail, but then act like it won. I mean, honestly, the worst part about it is that Tony Khan continues to put himself on TV, which the first thing we're going to talk about when we start talking about the show is Tony Khan in maybe his cringiest appearance yet on the pre-show.
Oh, do you have the video of that?
No, we can't play it because if you play even a second of AEW TV, they'll ding you.
Well, that's not true. They only ding you if you play
you're critical
it and
of
then
it.
say something bad about it. Right? Yeah.
Yes, and we're going to be very critical of it. So, John Williams for $1.99. What did this praise AEW? Why is he pure evil now? Oh, we've explained it. Don't worry. Just the purest of evil, like just evil made flesh. Monkey Balls for $5. So what do you think? 2 or 3 weeks before the Neo Moxleys are the faces. Oh my God, Neo Moxleys. That's a good name. That's just about as good as the Whitepool Combat Club with K's for Combat Club, like Alfred does.
Number 1 is still QA Con.
Oh yeah, QAcon. When Dis came up with that, I was like, "That's genius. That's you gotta get that on a shirt, dude."
Yeah, push that out there, QAcon.
You got to get QAcon on a shirt because
that's why. Actually, here now that it's going, I'm QAcon today. That's who I am.
Oh, that's what you're being.
There
You're
you
QAcon. Okay.
Yes.
Andre M says this is the heel disguised as a heel, pretending to be another heel.
Holy smokes. So he's Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Family Man.
Shaggy Phil 33 for $5 says that tank top is painted on. My God, Apollo makes me feel small. So
if you feel small, you should go to Big Rick's Twitter.
Or maybe just go to the gym. No more excuses, people.
The TV in the background of Kev makes him look like he's at a rave or something.
I know. By the way, little carnivore update for you guys. I weighed myself like at the time of day when you were probably at your heaviest, and I am 6 pounds lighter than when I started carnivore. So we'll see what I am tomorrow. But so far, it's success. And the pain that I always have in some of my joints, like my hip, my knee, gone.
Nice.
Gone in 6 days.
Oh, yes, the inflammation.
Because
so now, folks,
the inflammation goes away.
If you want a really good diet, I recommend getting hemophilia and ulcerative colitis. The combination.
Oh my God.
Actually,
Hold on, let me write that down. Is that in a book?
I lost 125 pounds on the hemophilia ulcerative colitis diet.
0 out of 10 doctors recommend the hemophilia ulcerative colitis.
You're slacking. Where's the Crohn's?
My sister has that. I can't.
Oh, you gotta give it something. You can't take all the heat. JBS for $2 says, "Hello, everyone. That isn't Dis the Devourer. Hello, everyone. That isn't Dis the Devourer of Worlds."
Yeah.
I love how now you're Galactus. Cat TV for $9.99. In defense of evil Dis, Kazoo, the cat in my profile, is super picky with food and has bad teeth, so she doesn't get treats. I spoil her in other ways. Okay, but Dis, you didn't do. That's not the reason your cat didn't get treats.
No.
What anything about teeth or needing to be spoiled in other ways? Like, yeah,
it was okay. When I was little, I got a cat named Snow.
I don't know if I'm really interested in you.
And my brother
you defending yourself again.
My brother told me that because I wanted treats because I wanted to teach the cat tricks, and my brother said cats don't do tricks, dummy, and they don't like treats. And I said, oh, okay. And we didn't. I literally never thought about it again until Max decided that he wanted the cat to be attached to a stuffed animal, and he said, oh, we should get him treats. I'm like, they're not going to work, but here you go, okay. And then the cat went insane for the treats, and I felt stupid for 41 years.
Well, yeah, like oh yeah, the one thing cats hate is food, right? Things to eat that taste good to them.
I didn't know. I was like, leave me alone. Whatever. Cat TV. That guy's name is Cat TV. That's the authority, and he approves me, and I'm fine. I got. Look, I mean,
my dog. I bought my dog every toy under the sun when I first got him. He does not care at all. He stares. He stares at them.
I bought Nico.
Look, don't you want to play with this stuffed lamb chop? It squeaks, and he's like, "What do I want with this?"
I bought I've bought Nico cat beds. I've bought him toys. I've bought him all kinds of stuff.
Yes, but no. Here's the thing. I know that my dog doesn't like toys because it tried and it failed.
I know.
I didn't just assume. I didn't just assume that he didn't like something.
He likes catnip. He likes catnip. I know that. He loves
of course,
catnip.
he likes catnip. It's
You like
heroin for
catnip.
cats.
Yeah.
You was hide up.
Yeah. All hide up. How does it have bad teeth, by the way?
I don't know. This dog has got no predatory instinct, and I think that's why he doesn't like toys. Because like he doesn't chase things, he doesn't like he won't. I think that a lot of times dogs playing with toys is kind of like a predatory thing. Like it's them like getting their predatory instincts out. He just doesn't have it, man. He just he looks at there was a loose bird in my apartment, and he stared at it. And I was
Marv's
like, what kind of
yeller?
I was like, what kind of dog are you? Like, yeah, he's an adorable dog, though, so I like him. Ryan Plays for $20 Canadian says, after thinking about it, I really enjoyed the first half of WrestleDream, starting with a 2 out of 3 falls match at Drag. Main event was good, but the ending was a bit too much for me at 1 in the morning. I'd give it a 6.5 to a 7. You know, I would agree with this 100%. I actually liked the first half of the card. I thought a lot of it was really solid. Dis and I were like beside ourselves, and Nish, we were all beside ourselves with the Darby Allin match.
Right. Yeah, that was a good match.
It was
I
fantastic. It was fantastic. Were you?
Yeah.
Is that why you were so quiet? Because it was a good match. You couldn't hate on it.
No. I said a few things, not hateful things, but yeah, I commented on it.
It was good. It made sense. I don't know. I liked it. It was good.
And the 2 out of 3.
Yeah, they allowed moves to breathe and register.
The 2 out of 3 let Marv discover Mortis, so that's good.
I really liked him. He was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Like his mask was neat. Like he moves in ways that he should not be able to move.
And
check him out on Rampage.
Yeah, way better than Hologram.
Hologram was
Mortis.
Mortos, the Beast Mortos.
The Beast Mortos.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what. Like this said Mortis in the beginning, and I was like, wait, what Mortis?
Because I'm American. That's how we say it here.
Right.
Paige and Jay White was good too.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I don't like the Cowboy, but he did a good job. Alejandro Melendez for $4.99 says, after Saturday, it's clear that Dis is one lab accident away from becoming the Green Goblin. Gents, don't let your women go near the Brooklyn Bridge. That was a quality super chat. John Williams for $1.99 says, Zayn at least is better than Wrestle Talk. I've never watched Wrestle Talk. I'm going to take your word for it because it was worse than
Dude, any American podcaster is better than any British podcast dealing with wrestling. They are insufferable.
Well, they're all just AEW fans, right? Like,
okay. The only good British wrestling personality is Marky D123. That's it.
He's first of all, I'm pretty sure he's Australian. And
no, he's British. He's British.
Is he? Okay. Well, second of all, no. There's old school reviews. They're great.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. OSW. Yeah. They're good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
OSW.
definitely.
Okay,
right? They're not a. Yeah, they're not a news source.
Yeah, like just looking up, making sure that's what. Yeah, OSW reviews is amazing. They've earned their 207,000 subscribers.
And by the way,
I love those guys.
Really nice guys too. I worked when I did network back in the day. I used to work with them a little bit, and they're super.
Oh, nice. Yeah, seems really nice. So I'm glad to hear that. I would be terrified to be on the air with them though, because they're so quick.
Yeah,
I mean, like I'm not slow, but like I would feel like I couldn't make a single joke because they're just so good. They're so funny. Their wit is different. Milwaukee for $5 Canadian says, if it comes out Mox is a David Carradine fan, things would make so much more sense. Yes, it would. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Kevin Tramp for $5. Tony Khan thinks he's a Vince, but he's actually a Dave. That is true. 100% true.
He's a Vince. He's a Vince Russo. That's
but he's a Vince in all like the bad, in a lot of the bad ways, because he's constantly doing the same business things that Vince did, even after saying he wouldn't do them. The thing is, Vince always would gleefully tell you that he did them. Tony tries to hide it.
So he took the worst traits of Vince McMahon and the worst traits of Vince Russo and put them together. Actually, I guess not the worst traits of Vince McMahon, but the worst.
Yeah, probably in the grand scheme of things, not the worst traits of Vince McMahon.
Hey, we don't know.
He doesn't have a paralegal fetish, but
Still early. We don't know. He's only been around for 5 years.
Look, I mean, you look at AEW, the AEW perception versus reality. Like something good happens to AEW, and this is Tony Khan.
Everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Meanwhile, this is Shad Khan.
Money.
Little competitive. Oh my goodness. Gable Fan Productions for $2. How long until TK makes Lashley job to Cassidy? Oh yeah,
6 months.
Yeah, 6
Not
months.
even.
I mean, Orange Cassidy ran off the heel stable
Why?
so they're murdering Danielson, and all these baby faces keep coming out to try to save him, and they keep bumping all of them, and then Orange Cassidy comes out, and they pouted.
What time of night was this?
This was like past midnight, right?
I mean, your time, yeah.
Yeah, my time. Yeah.
I would have been asleep.
It was so long. I mean, like it was at one point where I'm like, it's 10:30 and we have 4 matches to go.
Jesus.
After that Darby match, it seems like Tony's writing fell off a cliff.
Well, the problem is after the Darby match, you followed it up with the Young Bucks, Jericho, and Moxley.
Now you just said those are people who have creative control.
Yes, it is.
If you've noticed, yeah. So that could be the
I mean,
reason why.
Moxley definitely has creative control. There's no way he does, and he's got a favored nation clause.
And so is Jericho.
Yeah. John JD 999 for $199. I would love to watch David Goggins train AEW people. Who's that?
Get the votes.
I don't know what that is. No one
I
got
want to see
direct
Walton,
Dev.
I want to see Walton Goggins train AEW people personally.
Regina Shop for $10. Current disc crime list: stealing from little girls, flower fraud, not feeding his cat, not paying taxes, chemtrails, fluoride in water, and not crying during Old Yeller. Did you not cry during Old Yeller?
I
monster?
bawled during Old Yeller. I saw when I was like 2.
I've never seen Old Yeller. I've never seen Old Yeller because I know that if I know the dog dies before I go into the movie, I do not see the movie.
My dad's favorite pastime when I was a child was showing me movies that would make me cry. That's what he loved. He thought it was
that's quality parenting.
Come
What about
on,
Cujo?
Ryan.
and
Come
Ernest.
back.
Yeah, no, I saw Cujo, I saw It, I saw all those movies when I was like 5 or 6. Yeah, totally. And Old Yeller.
Which makes a lot of sense.
I'll Fight No More Forever. That movie. He was very big on that. A lot of John Wayne and then Ernest. And that was about all my dad and Dorf. Those are the things my dad made me watch when I was a kid.
Wow.
Dwarf on stalking.
CWJ 128 for $2 says, hello, everyone. Will you be live on election day? So that's a really good question. Here's the thing. Technically, yes. I will not be here, however. I will be away. Dis will be hosting the show that night.
Oh, fun.
So
wait. You're making me host a show with Awful and Kev on election day and expecting not to get demonetized.
Don't get political, guys. You can watch it. If Kev all of a sudden breaks something, you know what happened. But let's face it, there's not going to be a decision that night.
No,
so,
yeah, it's going to be election week.
Hey, everyone,
I get back on that Friday. I hope to God it's over by then.
Yeah, everyone get out and vote unless you're dumb, and then don't. And then just don't vote. I'm okay with you not voting if you're a dumb guy.
Vote for Evil Dis. How about that?
Andre Adams for $4.99. This is less a villain and more of an existential threat.
Hey, shout out Andre Adams, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny guy. John Williams also says, stop lying, Kev. You weren't watching the pay-per-view because you were sleeping. It's because you were busy fighting bears.
Probably. Did they have flags, Kev?
I can't comment on that. I might be committing a crime.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. All right, so let's talk. You know what? We touched on it a bit during the super chat, so there's not much more to talk about when it comes to WrestleDream, except for the ending of it. Because my God, the match was absolutely terrible. The Moxley Danielson match. It was. Look, I have seen probably 2 bad Bryan Danielson matches in my life. One of them was the last pay-per-view, and one of them was this pay-per-view. So maybe it's a good thing that he's retiring. Because his match with Jack Perry was absolutely atrocious. and somebody pointed this out. You took the belt off Swerve to do this, to do an if you lose the belt, you retire angle with a legendary figure, and it lasted a month.
Yep.
And then you took the belt off
okay.
Swerve to transition it onto neo-Nazis. Yahtzees. Sorry, I'm demonetized.
You gotta play the
26
Mario
minutes,
Kart music every time one of us does something.
You missed it. Marv got himself demonetized on Sunday, and that
Yeah.
gave me bingo, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I dropped an F-bomb. I'm so done with that pay-per-view by that point. But yeah,
What's
I mean,
interesting is that Tony Khan didn't show his face on this pay-per-view, except well, no, he did the
he showed his face
Ichi
on the pre-show.
Dasan. Yeah,
So he came out there. He came out there with standing with Tony Schiavone and Inoki's grandsons, and he wanted the crowd to count down in Japanese. I guess, is that a thing they do in New Japan?
Sure. I don't
Is
know.
that a countdown? I thought it
So-
meant
Well-
he's number one or something.
No, they did. So they did the countdown. Only the countdown that's going on the screen to like say the Japanese like words for numbers, it's completely out of sync with what he's doing. And then
Right.
he finishes and he goes, "One more time," and then the music hits to end the segment.
Oh,
And he makes them stop playing the music
Yep.
that they're already playing so that he could do it one more time.
Oh my god.
and fouled
We-
up again.
We were one time cop reference away from this being his perfect form. Guys, I said it before. I'll say it again. Why is he on TV? He can't cut a promo. He constantly looks awkward. He has no presence in front of the camera. It is ridiculous. And you have the Big Show sitting there collecting a check, doing nothing. Why wouldn't he, even Christopher Daniels, Big Show, Christopher Daniels, any of these eloquent people that wrestling fans respect, why not send them out to make your big announcements? Why do we have to send him out there with his teleprompter that he can't read and watch him struggle through the English language as he tries to remember how to blink and breathe at the same time?
And then when we actually do want to see him on the scrum that everyone
Which we were
for,
paid to see him on. He didn't show up.
we get to see Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone looking like he'd rather be anywhere else than at that
Miserable.
press scrum.
He looked and the dude just signed a 4-year contract and he looked miserable there.
So they said, so the press scrum happens. They send out Tony Schiavone instead of Tony Khan. And now, we got paid $600 to do this, to cover this press scrum, but we got off really easily. He comes out and, Tony Schiavone, everything is in gimmick. Everything is in work. Mariah May comes out in gimmick. They ask for questions from the press. No one asks her a single question. One person asked her, "Who do you want to wrestle?" And so she was like, "What kind of question is that?" And then like, okay, what your next question? And nobody had a question for her, and she left. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. And she accused them all of hating women's wrestling for not asking her questions.
Right.
But I'm also like, you're asking. So when the entire thing, because then Callis came out and basically cut a heel promo and took questions and cut heel promos. So if it's all going to be in gimmick, if it's all going to be in character, if it's all going to be a work, why are we involving the quote unquote wrestling press? You could have gotten everything out of what you got out of that with Renee Moxley Young in front of the camera backstage at Dynamite on Wednesday.
If you're gonna work, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, if you're gonna work it, you just did what is supposed to be the super hot angle with the whatever Neo Moxley's or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Why not? Tony's not there. You're not going to have a real press conference. You only have 2 wrestlers lined up. Why not just have Tony Schiavone come out, act like he's going to do it? Mox comes in, belts him over the head, takes out Nigel, and says, "I'll answer any questions anyone has for me." Sits down in the middle of the room and says, "You want to talk? Let's talk. They're not here. I'm going to do this now." And then afterwards, they can just destroy the whole thing, turn it all into an angle, and get people talking, drive people to YouTube, do something creative to get people interested in this weird angle that you just did. And instead, you just throw out Takeshita and Mariah May and let them die on the vine out there. Doesn't make any sense.
How about not giving a press conference that's half shoot, half work? I mean, you've got people in the production truck, you've got some people who mop and sweep and crew members and all that. Make them the unknown press people and have some marked questions or have loaded questions for them to ask these wrestlers and really drive your storylines. I mean, it's not hard to do. You don't have to really bring in a wrestling journalist or pundits or whatever you want to call them. Just work the whole conference, work the whole scrum.
Yeah, to be fair, Brian Alvarez was trying to ask actual questions, but nobody else. They were just answering them in character. They weren't answering them for real.
Must have had something in his mouth.
Right. I was astounded. I was like, this is a waste of time. Why do these press scrums happen at the end? Even the WWE ones, because they're kind of that weird work shoot kind of like,
right.
Cody, congratulations on your win tonight. No, don't congratulate him. He didn't win.
Well, WWE does a much better job of keeping the work going. They'll get asked shoot questions and they'll just kind of gloss over them and then turn them into more worky type stuff.
Like imagine like I walked up to Joaquin Phoenix as a reporter and be like, Joaquin Phoenix, I was so sorry that you got raped in a bathroom and then stabbed to death in a hall in a prison.
What is happening? You can't say that word either.
I said grape. He got graped. They threw grapes at him.
PDF file.
Why not just do a post?
I can't be stopping you from going off the rails.
You're right.
We danger.
I don't know. Dude, I'm in such a mood tonight. I guess
if they were smart, they wouldn't have any of these press scrums. You just do a post show for YouTube and recap what happened that night. Have your production truck with the replays and the clips and all that ready to go. You can make a nice 25 to 30-minute program and you bring people in and, I can't tell you if that's going to grow your audience, but it's something that you can do.
Awful, you just gave me a great idea. Why don't they have a YouTube chat going already? Why don't they pull questions from fans? Sit down with the wrestler.
Super chats.
Even worse. That'd be even
money
worse.
back.
No, because it won't be worse because you can pick and choose which ones you do. You don't have to do all of them. You just pick the ones that work with what the story is,
This won't work because it's something that makes sense. And people have been doing this since the days of the AOL chat. The big reason why it works for WWE is one, everybody is media trained. Because the media training is attached to their promo classes. And because they actually have characters, they can sit down and they can navigate a real world question, pseudo in character. And the media, because of what the WWE is, has become better equipped to want to ask certain questions. Like they're in on it, unless there's something that they really need to ask. And you notice the only time you kind of get like a douchey question that doesn't fit the press conference is it's usually our buddy. It's usually our buddy, Mr. Thurston, wanting to ask something about Vince that no one cares about. Like it's just it's some wrestling media dweeb who wants to ruin everybody's good time. The AEW ones and like the Mariah May, like listen, first of all, it was dumb of her to poo-poo the who would you like to wrestle question. You're a wrestler at a wrestling event during a wrestling press conference. So be happy that someone asked the question, because guess what? If anybody even remotely had only question. Yeah, if anybody even remotely had another question after that, you poo-pooed it with your dumb response. And then they give the petulant answer of, well, you hate women's wrestling. No.
Well, I mean, how about it's just so dumb. Chris Evans, congratulations on lifting Thor's hammer and leading the team to defeat Thanos. Like, it's just so dumb. It's a waste of time. To be fair, the AEW one is worse than the WWE one. I get what you're saying about the WWE one, because they have actual press there. They've got like ESPN there. They've been doing this since the
80s. Mm-hmm. So As you know, roughly around when the NBA started doing showing you the conferences after, depending on if you had satellite or not. The WWE has also been doing the same thing. They have just always kind of been there. So it's a very different animal. AEW has not positioned itself yet to even want to be pretending to do that. And again,
right,
like This and Awful said, you don't have any media there who has anything remotely interesting to ask. You should be plucking these questions directly from your fans, because if you want to make WWE money, the WWE creates an experience. So what's a better way to create experience than getting your fans involved? All you need to do is take like 6 questions, from 6 different people, and now it turns into, maybe they'll pick me next time,
right?
And everybody gets super excited about it. This isn't rocket science. Wrestling is not hard unless you make it difficult. And
Shivani should have asked questions.
That's it. And even look at the press conferences now too. They chopped them in half. There's the main eventers get to go do the press conference. Everybody else gets to do a little something backstage to build their character, because not everybody needs to be in front of the live mic.
Right.
And to be fair, WWE's also, I think a part of it is the fact that their product is so fun that it invites more lighthearted questioning and people that want to be a part of the show. Whereas AEW is so super serious all the time and dark and adult that people want to be part of the news when they do AEW. And also, to be fair to Mariah May, because I think we're kind of misrepresenting what she said. She didn't just say, I guess guys don't like women's wrestling. What she said was, you guys don't shut up about women's wrestling online, and now you have the AEW Women's Champion in front of you, and you don't have any questions for us?
Just as bad, this.
Yeah, well,
just as bad.
I think it was
she's thin-skinned.
No, she's pointing out hypocrisy. She's pointing out these people are out there talking about how women don't get enough time, and here they are in front of the women's champion, and they don't care enough to ask questions. They're doing it not because they care about women's wrestling, but because they want the clicks, they want the engagement, and they want to look like they want to stand on a pedestal. But when they actually have a chance to make news with a woman, they don't do it. And I think that's what she was pointing out. I don't think it was about just saying, I guess you don't like women's wrestling. To me, it came off as, you guys are hypocrites. Because all you do is try to make your name for yourself by, if
they're not yelling at Triple H about the way he books black people, it's the way he books women.
Right.
All right. Well, add something to your character.
Virtue signaling. They're virtue signaling. That's what they're
because
doing.
The worst of the worst AEW fans are virtue signaling, just absolute nightmare people.
Right.
And and they come in and
express your true feelings.
They don't like WWE, so they feel like the only way to destroy it is the way they have to destroy every godforsaken thing that they don't like, by going out there and trying to say you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic, how dare you? And then when Tony Khan does things like book a neo-Nazi Yahtzee, what am I doing? Booking a neo-Yahtzee stable to win the world title, then they don't say boo. They don't say boo. There was not one black dude in a singles match on the entire pay-per-view, and not one of these gutless artards sitting in that crowd said a GD word to him about it.
That's the Marv I want. That's the I love you,
Look
Marv.
at Apollo's face. Open mouth smile.
We're all turning heel this week. We're all doing it.
I'm just so tired. Hypocrisy is the reason these channels were started, because I saw all these people saying one thing and doing another thing, and there is nothing in this world that makes me angrier than inauthentic people.
No, you're 100% right. Yep. And like I said, that's what Mariah was calling out, and she should have. And that's what everyone should be calling out right now, because it's so obvious to anyone who isn't a diehard sicko or QAnon or whatever you want to call it. If you aren't diehard on that side, you are you notice that everyone, all the press is just, that's why I did the whole QAnon thing. That was the whole joke, is that it's all AEW controls the narrative constantly because they control journalism. So if they want to pay, do you really think that it's a coincidence that everyone started talking about Triple H being racist and how there's no black men on WWE TV a week before MVP shows up with a black stable? Do you think that's a coincidence.
But you know what? Here's the other thing. They always like to get on Triple H, but Triple H only books black people to interact with black people. How about the fact that MVP came out there, started a stable with Shelton Benjamin, interacted directly with Swerve and Nana, and now they're fighting Leo Rush at the next show.
And they talked about
There's a
Nana
whole lot
selling
of melanin going on all around there.
And you want to talk about stereotypes? How about saying that Nana was selling pot to high schoolers in the parking lot?
Well, Swerve said that.
Oh my god!
I know, but still,
I saw that, and I'm like, why do we have to lean into super negative stereotypes when the former champion is the first one to lambast anybody and anything about not being pro-black? Like the first thing out of your mouth is you make a black man selling drugs to high school kids joke when he's supposed to be an African prince. What?
And I brought this from the chat because you've got Jay Lethal on this roster and you do nothing with him. That is, I think, the biggest crime, Tony. Jay Lethal is an elite athlete. He's a once in a lifetime wrestler. That guy needs to go out there and be like, at least put him on ROH and put the ROH title on him because he's one of the greatest ROH champions of all time. How do you sign him and do nothing with him?
How about Athena? How about Athena? Athena is the most over woman they have on that roster. She is all over. Everyone talks about Athena. Everyone talks about how great she is. She's had the ROH title longer than any other woman ever in the history of ROH. And she is a great wrestler and a great personality. And they hide her behind a paywall for some reason.
Because if you put her on the main show and she starts outshining all the other talent, there'll be a problem between the crystal collector and the dentist. It'll be bedlam.
Could you imagine, by the way, guys, if somebody ever actually made it into the AEW press conference and asked Tony a tough question? Like if they were like, why were there no black men in singles matches on this show? You know, why do you only have one women's match on this show when you have 3 women's titles on your show? Like it's like, I could you imagine the just...
I'll get you for this! You won't escape my wrath!
The internet would light itself on fire. But they go out there every month and they ask Triple H about Vince. They ask him about racism. They will ask him about every ridiculous thing. And I love watching Triple H deal with it. And I love watching people the next day like, Triple H dealt with that terribly by saying, I don't see color. No, he's saying that he books people based on merit, which is the way things should be done in this world. The way you are born has nothing to do with the things that you are given and the opportunities that you are afforded. Shut up. So done.
You're so fired.
So done.
I have a separate take on the Jay Lethal and the Athena thing.
Oh, please go ahead.
It goes back to what I've said before. If Jay Lethal wants to stay in catering and not kick up any dust and not make a noise, and Athena wants to do the same, it's partly their responsibility to try to get themselves on television. They're not doing so. I have to lay a little bit of fault. We don't know that, but that's the assumption. Are they? How about this? Are they not crying? Are they not saying, why the F I'm not on Dynamite?
Yeah, I think
if
Athena,
I was who's the world champion now, she's got a little bit of capital. Maybe she ought to go a little 80s style, like I'm not showing up to work. With your belt.
But that doesn't work. You can't go on social media and criticize Fearless Leader because then you end up like Ricky Starks, who still is rotting away in the Phantom Zone. You have to go on there and do what Ricky Starks used to do, and that is defend Tony from all attacks and be Jay Lethal is not doing that. Jay Lethal is not going on Twitter and attacking fans for El Duce. He's not going to be the guy to do that. So that's why he's not going to be on TV, because unless you're making noise on social media, he forgets that you're there. Unless it's in your contract that he's not allowed to forget you're there, aka you have go ahead.
They've got access to Tony Khan supposedly at all times. Look what remember we saw that video of Sammy Guevara going up to Tony Khan and just like, hey man, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on for the next 3 weeks or whatever. That's what you do. But you got to do it consistently, especially if you want to be on TV. Now, if you're Jay Lethal and Athena and you're getting paid big money to work 1 day a week, or in some cases 1 day every 6 months, then you probably part of that responsibility and accountability has got to fall on you. That's just me.
I understand Lethal not making a fuss about it and kind of just taking the check, considering where he is at this point in his career. He's not gonna he probably signed a long contract with AEW. He's not a guy that although I mean they are shelling out for Motor City Machine Guns, but I don't think Jay Lethal is a guy that WWE is going to be beating down the door for. He'll probably have a good job as a trainer someday, but he's not. The prime of his career is past him.
Yeah.
I think if Jay were 10 years younger
and not really have to risk it out there.
If Jay were 10 years younger, Triple H would have scooped him up now. But it was just Vince didn't want him. I think probably because of his height.
I think Jay was just a victim of bad timing. I feel like if Triple H never had his incident, he would have been scooped up. It's just when he was super available, it was the Vince show, and he made the right decision. It's just unfortunate that he's someplace that does not know how to utilize talent, because AEW is where talent equity goes to die. And just because I haven't had anything to say, they put chemicals in the water to make the frogs AEW fans.
You're following the chat, aren't you?
I am.
QAcon.
About that. But see,
QAcon, yeah.
Jay Lethal would have been great for New Day.
No.
I know. Yeah, he would have been great. He would have done better than Odyssey Jones.
Like Jay makes anything work. Like you want Jay to do comedy, he goes out there, he's the Macho Man, and he's amazing at it. You want Jay to be like your stellar world champ. I mean, ROH was exactly that. Jay Lethal he can do whatever you ask him to do.
Jay would have been the king of NXT.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just and when he would have, if he had eventually made it to the main roster, he'd probably be tearing it up on SmackDown, giving you matches you haven't seen before.
I just don't understand.
That's the crime of the hip hop color NXT era. That was the Vince run. It's like a lot of doors got shut on a lot of people who they probably would not have been shut on. And now these guys sign these long-term contracts, so you don't even have the hope of like, oh, maybe they can show up soon.
I don't understand, like, not even putting him in ROH though. Like, what's going on ROH? Like that you couldn't put like one guy who's an ROH name on there, an ROH legend.
Yep.
Have him go at it with Mark Briscoe. I don't know. If you got Jericho versus Mark Briscoe.
It makes even less sense considering the proximity to when Jay was ROH champion. Jay was the greatest ROH champion of the modern era of ROH. So you have him there.
Well, show that on television, though.
Yeah.
Show that.
By the way,
where's the tapes at the library?
Can someone answer me this? Where has Joe been?
Well, remember,
is Joe hurt?
Joe served his purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to get we needed a non-white champion to have the belt for a little bit, and then he realized, we can put it on Swerve. And all of his melanin problems went away, at least according to him.
Remember, he was doing that stuff with Hook, and just it went nowhere.
Oh, that's right. Jericho drove him through a wall, and we haven't seen Joe since. That was like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe's been.
If you're going to talk about Joe, with ROH, you put Joe and Lethal on ROH, and you've got a feud right there because Joe was Lethal's mentor. Sorry, Dis, what were you saying?
No, I think Joe's doing Twisted Metal, so that's why he hasn't been on TV recently.
Oh God, he's in that.
Yeah, he's Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, isn't he Sweet Tooth?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird casting. I would not have made that casting.
He was so good in the first season.
Yeah, and he also he does a bunch of video game work. He's just busy. So.
Okay. All right. Well, good for Joe. Good for Joe collecting a check while doing other things that also make him money. All right. We got some super chats to get to. Asa for $10 is Neo Moxley, but I dare anyone in an AEW scrum to ask Tony about it. When Alvarez is more honest than AEW fans, that's a problem. And it is true. Brian Alvarez, for all his many faults, he is honest, and that's when Meltzer, freaks out at him. Regina Sharp says, "Oh, you're never gonna let us live down Tony not showing up. LOL. He has more money, by the way." Thank you very much.
Hey, you are making up to him though. You're
I am. I'm going to stream Fight Forever again and let you guys relive my pain through that. BT23 for $5 says, "Poor booking equals reason why I knew Brian was losing. Even though Mox has power, Brian definitely decided where to lose the title." I mean, look, he might have decided that was the way to go out. It's a dumb decision, guys, because for him to go out, like, it's one thing if he got beat and then like gets his moment, like his standing ovation moment. They literally murdered him in the ring.
Yeah. I don't think he's gone, but we'll get to that later.
No, he's gonna come back and he's gonna wrestle Wheeler Useless.
Yeah.
But
they don't know how to do it over there.
To do this, if I lose, I retire gimmick, have it go for 1 month.
It's stupid.
And then take him down. I don't get it.
It's stupid. And you could have gotten the same result by just letting him squeak by Moxley. And they beat listen, just for the sheer sake of having fun with the story. He deserved to be heel turned on after what he put Yuta through last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Like he earned that. I get beat up for you to go gallivant around in the back for no reason, and then you leave me on the floor in agony. Don't even give me a boy until the cameras turn off. You got what you deserve. But the
worst part about it though was Excalibur pretending to cry.
Oh yeah, that was atrocious, ridiculous, and it wasn't even convincing. That was the biggest thing. Like, why can't you guys just have a bed of silence? Just shut up and let the ring talk for itself. Let the participants speak for themselves.
That's what WWE, the announcers know when to drop out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when the big crazy things happen, Michael Cole shuts up. Because we learned, Vince learned, I guess, a long time ago when Cole became his number one announcer. Like, there are some times where, like, too much Michael Cole can ruin them. Like, the drama of a moment like that is ruined it can be ruined by a sportscaster calling it play by play.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to let it play out.
The funny thing is that's a JR thing. Like, I heard, I believe, JR told a story one time about how, there was a WrestleMania where he dropped out and didn't say anything, and Vince is screaming in his ear to talk, and he just refused to because he knew it would kill the moment. And Michael Cole has talked about how he learned that from JR, that he learned when to drop out from JR. JR was sitting right there. He's sitting right next to Excalibur, and Excalibur can't do it.
Nope.
And for all that crying that he did, why didn't he just play into it? Take off the headsets, go up to the ring, check on it, like, do something. They're stammering over each other, trying to explain what we're seeing with our own two eyes.
Well, can I ask why they had more security for the MVP Nana segment than they had for the second attempted murder on an AEW pay-per-view?
That's an easy answer.
Yeah, they were
girls in the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
four.
Four.
That's true. There were 4,
and none of them were parking cars.
The whole front row called the cops. I think it was a backyard barbecue.
Really. I'm sorry. I started thinking about it. So, did you hear the story about MVP, his first day in AEW, where he marched through the halls and didn't talk to anybody and went straight into Chris Jericho's locker room and opened the door? And that's okay. I believe that story 100%. MVP is exactly the kind of person who would make a huge scene about how big of a man he is to walk up into Chris Jericho's locker room.
I hope
everyone sees it.
Didn't he slap him on the cruise?
Yeah.
And then Jericho said, "I don't fight jobbers," and ran away.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that MVP was as fast as he was, or that he had the reach he did.
Yeah.
Just MVP just
I also think that when Jericho gets enough Crown Royal and vodka in him, he thinks he can fight anyone. Remember that one time? Yeah, remember that one time when Drunkago was tweeting and he challenged the entire UFC roster to fight, and then woke up the next morning and was like, "Ah, what have I done?" I mean, look, he messed. I think also he thought MVP. I guess maybe because he was a big star and MVP wasn't. He thought MVP wouldn't touch him, but he learned the hard way. He's not going to do that again.
That's an instance of when you hear a black gentleman say, "You got the wrong one, you got the right one. You in fact got the wrong one."
Yeah. CWJ 128 for $2 says compare AEW to the Cody KO angle, amateur hour. Yeah, that's nuanced storytelling. And let's be real, that's the Randy Orton angle. That is all going to come full circle as Randy Orton's grand masterpiece at WrestleMania.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Kevin Tram for $5. The only way AEW involve their fans is when they put them in danger at ringside. Glass and other projectiles flying at their faces. That is true.
Well, sometimes
We
they
have seen
hire him. Sometimes they hire him to wrestle like Costco Boom Guy. So
That's true. That's true. And Darby Allin. He was just a hobo, right?
Don't forget the alcohol splashing on kids.
Yeah. That's MJF like full on doing it. It's not even an accident.
Well, remember when the Bucks and Omega creamed a poor kid in the front row? Because we can't not be marks and throw ourselves into the crowd every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
You remember when they drew attention to that redhead girl from Chicago because she gave Hangman the finger and made everybody on Twitter turn against her and had wrestlers call her out and stuff and turned her into a bad guy?
I never in my life have I seen a softer group of people who cannot handle fans going to shows and being fans.
Oh, Dax! We forgot about Dax, the girl that was texting in the front row, and Dax went out on pay-per-view and got in her face about her texting.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a her problem, you bald penis. Sorry, I almost did it again. That's not a her problem, you idiot. That's a you problem. That's you are such a vacuumous just pustule of society on the wrestling world that the entire universe, when you make an appearance, tunes out.
Marvin's in a mood.
Home. Yeah,
I can't stand him.
Sorry, I just caught Awful's joke that
what did he say?
Mrs. Movie Monster isn't home right now.
No, she is home. She's home and probably trying to sleep right now.
Yeah, there it is.
Feel a little aggressive, huh?
Yeah. Last Call Podcast for $5 says, I'm waiting for Lashley to lose to Darby, Daniel Garcia, and Pockets Cassidy, just so that Marvin Apollo can go nuclear and shred Tony to pieces. Oh, we will do that if that happens. When that happens.
It'll be Darby, by the way. Darby's. It'll be Darby. It's not going to be Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, I think Tony gets these weird infatuations with people, and it was with Orange Cassidy for a long time, but that's totally shifted to hologram at this point. And so that's his new favorite toy. But Darby Allin, that's the one that he looks at and he says, he's my Jeff Hardy. He's my CM Punk. He's the guy that's going to really bring this up. Yeah, I guarantee it's going to be Darby that beats John Moxley.
Yeah. MJG for $20 says, no lies detected. This, and this. All of this is so spot on. I like that. This, and this.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's
better than making me be a bad guy. I say
you are a bad. No, life made you a bad guy. Like I don't know. Probably have emotionally scarring backstories and whatnot. But
the fact that I'm a sociopath makes me a bad guy.
Right.
Well, kind of a sociopath, not like all the way.
The fact that you can reference the fact that you're a hemophiliac on the show today, and people still think you're a jerk. You gained no sympathy from it.
You saw what I was going for. You saw what I was trying to do.
Well, no, like Joey Janela posting pictures of his horrific burn scars as he gets sent to the burn ward at the hospital because he did a fire spot from hell. At some garbage show, probably GCW, and he's like, I hope all you fans appreciate what I do for you. Hey, nobody asked you to do that for us.
No one told you to do it, jackass. What's your problem?
Wait a second.
Learn how to bump.
You can compare me to any anime villain you want. You can compare me to any Batman villain you want. You compare me to Joey Janela, we're gonna have a problem, monster.
Okay, you're right. You're right. That was over the line. I agree. That was over the line. Last Call Podcast for $5 also says Athena needs to make Tony fear for his life, a la CM Punk, so she can get out of AEW hell and go to TNA. Yeah. We learned the formula. you have to slap Jack Perry, because if you slap Sammy Guevara, you don't get fired. You just get sent home with pay. So when you want a vacation, you slap Sammy Guevara. When you want to get fired, you choke Jack Perry. That's
You're just gonna see a rash of people snatching Jack Perry in a front face lock in front of Tony.
I worked on a cartoon once when I did stick figure cartoons. Me and Max did for a little bit, and I was working on one where Andrade went in and asked for his release, and Tony said no, and then he walked out of the room and he saw CM Punk attack Jack Perry, and then he turned around and grabbed Sammy Guevara and threw him against the wall. But Athena wouldn't have to go to TNA. Triple H would kill to have Athena back.
Yep.
In a heartbeat, Triple H would sign Athena.
Triple H wants all of his toys back.
Yes, he does.
This is true.
Very badly.
1KQ for $5 news. Oh, sorry, Kev. Go ahead. What were you gonna do?
Just walk in there and slap the hairy little runt. 3 minutes.
And you're done. You'll be on Raw that Monday.
Swerve.
Sign an NDA and you'll never have to hear of it again.
Swerve goes on Charlemagne and he's like, yeah, Triple H didn't talk to me. He told my people I should hit Jack Perry, but he didn't say anything to me.
1KQ for $5 New Zealand. Do they even have any credible baby faces to fight against the Whitepool Combat Club? Shout out Alfred. I don't know. Like, who is your number one baby face to chat? Osprey maybe, but he's feuding with Callis.
It's Darby.
Oh, it is Darby. You're right.
It's totally. Listen, they're going for the great value Sting versus the NWO. That's all this is going to be. It's Darby versus.
This is the inverse. This is the inverse bloodline.
It will be that until the whatever Lashley's group gets established, because the end game is the white supremacy group versus the Lashley group. So,
well, that's the thing. It's the bloodline, but instead of it being like blood because we're family, it's pure bloodlines versus everything else. Oh man, it's terrible. But yeah, you'll be next.
No, don't say that. You can't say that. Don't say that in this context. Only in Harry Potter context.
Making a Harry Potter joke
immediately.
Making a Harry Potter joke.
Too close. They were too close together.
She made up a slur in that.
Oh no, that wasn't made up. That was just
was it?
From Americans.
Oh, I didn't know that. Miss October 30 for $2. There is no value in Moxley being AEW, so why? Yeah, I mean,
there's value for Moxley.
There's value for there's plenty of value for Moxley. Look, Moxley, every time Moxley's contract runs out, he tries to go back to WWE, and Triple H is like, "You want how much?" No. And Tony's like, "Please don't go. I'll give you $10 million more a year." And he's like, "All right."
Can I wrestle plumbers on weekends?
As long as you don't lose to them. I'm going to lose to them anyway. Okay, whatever you want.
Roman just sent me a text. $5 million more. Whoa. He's saying hi.
He was asking how my kid's softball game went, but okay, I'll take it.
Someone asked on X, they said, how is it that Moxley is worth all this money to Tony? And it's because he once existed 5 feet from Roman Reigns. That's the only reason he gets the amount of money.
He stood between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
Right. That's it.
And for a brief second, he was the internet's chosen guy until they actually put him in the position to be the number one guy, and we all learned that he's not the guy.
Oh yeah, a terrible world champion.
And then AJ Styles showed up and embarrassed him on live TV.
And then he stepped in the ring with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman both walked backstage and said, "Never again."
and then is that really what happened?
Oh, have you ever heard Paul Heyman talk about working with John Moxley?
I never heard the Heyman Moxley story.
Oh yeah, he does not like that man.
Really?
Yes.
No, he doesn't.
It's on YouTube. You should look at.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Later. Yeah. Okay.
Let's watch it right now. Let's watch it right now.
I will.
Paul Heyman is not a fan.
Paul Heyman exposes John Moxley's toxic attitude. Is that it? Or Paul Heyman talks frustration with John Moxley's attitude?
Yeah. If Paul's got a mic in his hand, then that's the one.
Okay, hold on one second. We got one more super chat to read before I get to that. Hokage 13 for $5 says, if AEW believes in Darby, why did they make him number one contender only for Moxley to beat him into the ground? It feels extremely pointless. Yeah, it is. It is pointless.
It is pointless.
I doubt Moxley with this new heel stable is going to have a 1 month title reign. So,
3 years. He's gonna be the champion for as long as the contract is there.
All right.
We can't have a Hollywood Hogan like run because there's no Luger in between.
That's true. All right, so this clip is 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
And worth every second.
It's a good clip.
All right, I'm excited, guys. Let's watch it. Paul Heyman exposes Jon Moxley's toxic attitude.
Match that a lot of people seem to be disappointed about, and it was in 2016. It appeared that maybe Brock Lesnar was going to be facing Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. There was some interactions at the Royal Rumble, at different shows, and then it changed to Dean Ambrose. And the match was WrestleMania with Dean Ambrose. Not a lot of people talk about it or have favorable memories about it. And whenever Dean Ambrose has been asked,
wait, that was at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I was there. I was at that WrestleMania.
Oh my God, I did not remember that being at WrestleMania. I used to be able to name every match from WrestleMania, but back when there were only like 16 of them.
Yep, me too. I remember that.
But he seems very frustrated with how the match went.
Oh, I'm sure Danielson is very frustrated with it. Is he frustrated with his own performance on the Stone Cold podcast?
Okay, yeah, when Austin embarrassed him. When Austin was like, let me tell you everything wrong with everything that you do.
He put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Whoa, what? Oh, what? I didn't insult them. I'm speaking the truth. You ask a question, you get an answer from me. Sorry that I'm being blunt. What the
Thank you, Paul.
Come on. Did you see his performance on the Stone Cold podcast? Did it piss off Steve Austin? Did it piss you off too? And you think actually he didn't?
Why would it piss off Austin? Was he cagey?
Because it was absolutely he could pull nothing from the man for an interview.
Yeah,
there's nothing there.
He was disinterested and aloof. It wasn't even that he was incapable of giving a compelling answer. He looked like he would rather have been doing something else.
He looked like he was on a lot of pain medication.
Yeah, that too. So like it just was not.
Maybe he was probably drunk. Didn't he go to the rehab?
He was tied up.
He was tied up. He wasn't drunk.
But Stone Cold was feeling the frustration, and it was to a point where Stone Cold wanted him to like do a promo on the fly, and Ambrose had absolutely nothing for him.
I mean, seriously, less than nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Match with Brock Lesnar with the same attitude. Ask Braun Strowman what happens when you take liberties with Brock Lesnar. Ask Randy Orton what happens when you take liberties with Brock Lesnar. Ask The Undertaker what happens when you take liberties with Brock Lesnar. If that's what happened, because I'm not telling you that's what it was, I'm just throwing out a conspiracy theory for you to think about.
Oh my God. I could listen to this man read anything.
100%.
Was it the beauty of the work shoot promo?
Paul Heyman reads the McDonald's menu, and I'd be captivated.
All right.
No, Paul Heyman reads an
quarter pounder with some cheese, filet of fish, hamburger, cheeseburger, Happy Meal.
My dear gentlemen, I am here today to read the McDonald's menu.
Oh goodness!
There's a great match. Is not going to be.
I was just going to say, there's a great picture of Brock Lesnar stepping over Dean Ambrose. I think he's on his chest or on his head or neck or whatever, and it just encapsulates the entire feud between him and Moxley. Like they did not like each other. Moxley was trying to give ideas on what he wanted to do with Brock, and Brock was just shooting everyone down. Like, yeah, that one won't work for me, brother.
You don't go to Brock Lesnar and say, "Here's what I want to do." You ask Brock what he wants to do.
Right. I just want to throw you around for about 4 years. Yeah, really.
Stretched, you're going to get thrown around, dumped on your head, and Brock Lesnar's. You mess with Brock Lesnar, the match is not going to be that good. You're just going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get stretched. You're going to get thrown around, dumped on your head, and Brock Lesnar's going to go out and eat dinner and call you. And it's all over. That's it. That's it. Happened to Randy Orton. Happened to Dean Ambrose. Happened.
When did it happen to Randy Orton?
That's the work shoot part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're talking about the end where Brock busted Randy open up the hard way, but that is supposed to be a shoot.
Okay.
To the Undertaker. If that's what happened with the Undertaker, I'm not saying that it did. I'm not saying that it didn't. Happens to anybody that wants to cross Brock Lesnar. Ask Steve Austin how he feels about Dean Ambrose. I'm sure his God damn that kid who came on my podcast. I don't even know what the hell. I have some questions sitting there like he's half asleep on me. If Steve Austin come out, it could have.
Man, his Steve Austin impression's better than mine.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Come out of retirement.
I know you sound all deflated now.
Yeah, like it just like I'm like, well, why bother now?
Took
Took the wind out of your sails.
It's the truth. Hey, but then again, that's Dean Ambrose's persona. And that goes back to what this gentleman was asking before. That's who Vince McMahon wants Dean Ambrose to be. So that's who Dean Ambrose is. If Dean Ambrose had done something so egregious that Vince McMahon didn't like it, Dean Ambrose wouldn't be working here anymore. So obviously he's doing something that Vince McMahon likes. Whether we like it, you like it, or anybody else likes it or not, that's a matter of conjecture. Anybody who thinks that Brock Lesnar is lazy is not taking a look at the right circumstance. Come on. Lazy? Lazy got him to an NCAA Division I heavyweight championship. Lazy had him knock out Randy Couture in his 4th MMA fight, the greatest heavyweight champion of all time in UFC. Brock Lesnar didn't grapple Randy Couture, take him down, tap him out. He knocked out Randy Couture in his 4th professional fight. He works his way back to WWE after almost dying from diverticulitis. He comes into this locker room. He's 265 pounds. Then he goes back to 295 pounds, decides to fight a top 8 heavyweight after 6 years out of the octagon named Mark Hunt. I have to say that name separately. Mark Hunt.
Yes, you do.
That's what happens to those Samoans, brother. Goes down to 265, beats Mark Hunt, and then comes back at 295 6 weeks later in WWE and puts on a performance against Randy Orton that pissed off everybody to the point that people in the locker room thought it was for real.
Jericho.
And maybe it was.
Wait, what?
That was Jericho. He's talking about Jericho.
Oh, is that when Jericho wanted to fight Brock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not telling you when it comes to Brock Lesnar. I'm just throwing it out there for you to decide for yourselves.
So I guess he doesn't like John Moxley very much.
But who does?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a kind word about him.
Yeah, Tony Khan. Tony Khan loves John Moxley. That's the person who has to.
Ryan Danielson loves John Moxley. With that, but he also wants to lose Wheeler Yuta, so you can't take anything he does seriously anymore.
It's ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, hold on one second. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. I was Producer Neckbeard had sent a message in the private chat and I was reading it. So all is good. By the way, shout out Producer Neckbeard, the producer of this show, the backbone of this show. We could not possibly do it without him. He is the man. He's always doing his own show out there with you guys in the chat, and we love it. Sometimes I find myself getting caught up in it because it's so good. All right, guys, we have to move on to God, my favorite thing in the world, because yes, folks, it's that time again. It's that time that we have every single week when Dave Meltzer embarrasses himself. So this week's That's Dave For You segment comes to us from my favorite thing in the world, when Dave Meltzer tries to say something about The Rock, and The Rock takes the time out of his movie star schedule to shut because my goodness, is that not the greatest thing ever? All right, let me just share that right now. So for those of you that missed it, recently, our old friend Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Slop Server newsletter said, as of right now, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because he loves to call him Dwayne, is not scheduled for WrestleMania 41. While that could change, one source said that a potential Rock versus Reigns versus Rhodes match, he's not going to be able to do Mania. He already gave word that he wouldn't be able to do that match. Another person who would be intricately involved in the top of the card program said that they had no idea about anything. Okay. Well, Dave Meltzer also said before this, a couple days, Meltzer said that the Rock counting to 3 was him saying triple threat at WrestleMania. And then a few days later, Dave Meltzer said Rock wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. Now, this gentleman here, the actor Man Essex, said, "Are you really not working Mania 41? Say it ain't so." The Rock responds directly and says, "Don't believe any of that BS." There you have it, folks. So now Dave Meltzer, trying to save face, goes, "I know that he was not confirmed for the show as of Thursday. So if something changed, I'll find out." No, Dave, we all found out. We all found out because The Rock said on Instagram that he was on the show. You're not going to find out. You don't have to call your imaginary sources. You don't have to look into your magic BS crystal ball. The Rock told us. We probably found out before you did. But if he wants to do it, he's going to do it. It's up to him. They want to know, obviously, going into the Royal Rumble where they're going. And at that point, we'll see. Brilliant reporting there, Dave. They want to know going into the Royal Rumble who's going to be in the main event at WrestleMania. That's a great point, Dave. What a point, Dave. Bravo, Dave. Hope you didn't hurt yourself. Hope you didn't hurt your brain sitting down. My God.
$14.99, please.
For this kind of stunning insight. Guys,
Man,
he has
took a few minutes out of his work day.
Yeah, The Rock has a busier schedule than anybody on the planet, probably. Say for people that are running entire nations, okay? The Rock has such a busy schedule, and he took time out of his day to be like, no, Dave Meltzer's wrong. He needs to just retire because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I actually believe someone told him this one because this is not a thing that you could finagle out of your head. Like that you could watch Monday Night Raw and be like, yeah, I think this is about to happen. No, that's not what's going to happen. Somebody did say this to him, and I think somebody set him up. I think Triple H just likes to mess with him at this point. Like, hey, go tell him The Rock's not going to be on Mania. And then The Rock is just like, what the hell? I'm not. I mean, just this insipid nonsense that he spews forth from his pie hole. Why do people listen to him? Because you know why? I'll tell you why. Because he tells them what they want to hear. He tells them what they want to hear about their favorite wrestling company, and that is AEW. You want to hear what he said about AEW recently? Because this was the most laughable thing I've ever seen in my life. Because it's things that Dave Meltzer could not possibly know because it involves things that have not happened yet. Dave doesn't even know what's happening right now, let alone what's going to happen a year in the future.
This is his way of letting his subscribers know and letting the people who follow him know, like he's pretending like he still has an in the WWE, like he still has some sort of source working for him. And that's just not the case. I've read that ever since what's that guy's name? Dijak. Ever since he left the company, Dave Meltzer's been lost as far as news and information and scoops.
Well, so he said, with the conservative model factoring in no new international deals, and we've already seen a new one yesterday, and no additional TV deals, AEW next year will be more profitable than the entirety of WCW's 13 years combined, the WWF from 1990 to 98 combined, and WWE every year from 2001 to 2017.
Can we just discuss the sheer absurdity? Not even the fact that This moron has never seen a spreadsheet or a P&L. Probably can't even read a P&L. Probably doesn't know what a P&L is. Just based off inflation. That is a given. AEW has to make $2. And frankly, it's made $400 million more than WCW ever could have during its 13-year run. What is he on about? And this is me trying really hard to not pull a Marv.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yes.
It's absurd. Eric Bischoff responded to him with like a whole big thing, which I thought I bookmarked, but apparently I didn't. So
shout out Eric Bischoff. He quote tweeted one of my ratings videos. That was awesome.
Well, sounds like he was shouting out you.
That's awesome.
Eric Bischoff on Dave Meltzer. He's always studying something. For an MFA that's supposedly a journalist, why don't you go study grammar, you dip crap? Learn how to effing write.
It's not 22. Let it fly.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my goodness. Well, sports writers sometimes say nice things about me.
I'm in a Hall of Fame.
That's his that is his like big thing about
his default setting.
Yeah, his default setting is like, oh well, why do sports writers say nice things? Hold on, I want to hear what Uncle Eric has to say because there's a clip. By the way, we love Eric Bischoff on this show.
Big fans.
Study the business. He's always studying something. Well, for a motherfucker that's supposedly a journalist, he's studying grammar, you dipshit. Learn how to fucking write. And if you're going to be on camera, learn how to talk. You know what I mean? Just give it a whack. Could work out for you.
Oh, I don't know what you mean, Eric.
To be fair, Dave Meltzer was on the K100 show.
He was,
and he didn't really stammer at all. I was actually
Disco
impressed. No, of course Disco wasn't on it, or else Dave wouldn't have been on it.
The reason,
So what exactly happened on that show? I know that that he said a lot of absurd things. So first of all, apparently he said Disco couldn't be on if he was on, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that if that was made public, but
they talked about it for years. They talked about it for years.
Oh, okay.
So
wow. Dopey. What's he so afraid of Disco Inferno for?
Because Disco doesn't drink the Kool-Aid. / he used to kiss Disco's butt in the 90s.
Right. Yeah.
He wrote countless articles about how over Disco was. He even talked about how ratings went up when Disco's matches were on.
Mm-hmm.
So now he has to, he's doing revisionist history because Disco poo-poos his AEW party. Conan, although very honest, is a lot gentler when it comes to talking about certain things with certain people. Whereas Disco's kind of like, I have nothing to lose at this point, so I'm going to say what's on my mind.
Well, Disco is right a lot of the time. Disco is also definitively a piece of shit. I'm sorry. like I agree with him a lot of times, but he's kind of a jerk. He's kind of full of himself. You know what I mean? Like he's got that at it, and I get it because he does have to defend himself a lot because he was a way better performer than people give him credit for. He was a draw in WCW, I'd even say, which is more than a lot of people in AEW can say, and a lot of people in WWE can say at this point. But
I mean, look, I remember one of my early tweets that I got destroyed, like the AEW fans threatened my life repeatedly over, was when I said more people know who the Disco Inferno is. More wrestling fans know who Disco Inferno is than know who Kenny Omega is.
Yeah,
and I stand by it.
And
because there were 8 million people watching Nitro. Yeah,
let's be real here.
Maybe not 8 million, but there were millions.
But I'll put it to you like this: there were so many people watching wrestling from 98 to 2000.
Yeah.
That even when Nitro was doing poorly, we're talking like the final days, 2001 of Nitro, they still had more than double the current AEW audience. So at one point in time, between Raw and Nitro, you could have had almost 10 million people watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, so stop it. Yes. Hey, listen, I'll put it to you like this. The fact that WWE Network, although a lot more friendly to non-WWE wrestlers, has never ever invested significant time into any non-WWE performer outside of the Shockmaster. Disco Inferno got a whole segment dedicated to him in that top 10 show because the Disco Inferno was over, despite what we like to try to say. The fact that Disco Inferno has a segment that every wrestling company since he did it has ripped it off, with him losing weight to go challenge for the Cruiserweight title.
Disco Inferno was the 90s honky tonk man.
Yeah.
100%.
He was. Oh, you're very right. That's a good pull, Dis.
And Beard is right. He's Italian, so I mistake that for being a piece of shit sometimes. I apologize.
Oh
wow. I mistake hemophiliacs for being jerks sometimes.
I have an Italian friend that I make that joke with, or similar jokes about. So.
Right. Oh no, that's your excuse. I have an Italian friend. That don't work with this skinny.
You are that Italian friend, Marv. Do you not understand?
Oh, I'm the Italian friend. Yes. Okay.
That's just usually I say Massachusetts instead of Italian.
Okay. So yeah, guys, that is our week in That's Dave for you. Did you guys see Rikishi go nuts on Vince Russo?
What happened?
We need to find out what happened when we watch the clip right now, because my goodness, we're far enough into the show where Rikishi's not going to get us demonetized. Rikishi, man, he ripped Vince Russo a new one. So I guess Vince Russo said a bunch of stuff about Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship. And let's see what Rikishi had to say to defend his boy.
Russo said, I don't understand this.
I dig the background.
He could barely speak. I don't understand. This is a job. The title is a prop. For the life of me, I don't understand how these wrestlers get emotional over winning a prop. Jey Uso has been around.
Oh, okay. So he was not insulting Jey Uso, the performer. He's insulting the fact that Jey Uso cared about winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah,
I that he can't talk is a pretty,
No, I think he said that he couldn't talk when he did the emotional promo. Like he was like emotional about it.
But this take is silly regardless because he didn't talk. The show went off the air. Everything that happened was stuff that happened naturally after the show went off the air that they chose to put on YouTube because it made a good segment. It wasn't a scripted promo in the middle of the ring. So yeah, Russo is off base on that.
Here's the thing. To wrestlers, the titles Vince Russo are not props.
Yeah. Especially someone who has a family like Jey Uso does. That's
take a look at it. Take a look at it from the perspective of acting. You just got cast in a bigger role. You were just told, you just got a promotion. You were just told by your employer that you are so good at the thing that you do that we are going to put you in this higher spot in our organization. That's what winning a title is. That's what it means. It's recognition for your work. It's the thing everyone dreams of. It's why foam title belts to kids and ludicrously expensive replica title belts to grown men are such high sellers. It's a thing everybody wants, man. I understand it completely. I get it. I've never held one up myself, but at the end of the day, I get it. It is getting cast in a larger role, and that is a thing every performer can get emotional about.
Listen, and how about this? Your beloved father also held that title. Your father was one of the most famous people during the hottest time in wrestling ever. Got to hold that title and what it meant for your family. And now you get to hold the same belt your dad did.
And after 14 years of being typecast as a tag wrestler and assuming that you never get further than the tag titles, you've now gone on your own. You have a huge fan base. You're clearly the most popular person on the flagship show of the biggest wrestling company in the world, and you just got handed a title for it, a singles title.
The most popular person. You really think so?
On Raw?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
On Raw?
he's the most popular. Yeah. 100%.
I don't understand. This is a job. The title is a prop. For the life of me, I don't understand how these wrestlers get emotional over winning a prop. Jey Uso has been around forever. Quote.
Okay, well, let me answer that. And if you're listening, Russo, first of all, you can go yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have the
He's got to cue the engineer.
Do you remember Rikishi's first promo when he opened it up with "Hickory Dickory Dock, Rikishi finally talks," and I was like, "Oh, waited so long."
You just say it. They're gonna love it. They're gonna eat it up. Say it with me. Hickory Dickory Dock, Rikishi. What? Come on. It's great.
There's one thing the kids love more than those Looney Tunes. It's nursery rhymes.
That's right. Nursery rhymes.
Kids have not evolved one bit since I was a kid in the trailer park.
Humpty Dumpty.
You know what I found out recently? So I was going back through because I realized that I had seen the match where Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels tagged up together, and I realized it was on a taping for Superstars. So I went back and looked at the results, and I was actually at the first show that Rikishi played the Make a Difference Fatu character when he came out.
Fatu?
You don't remember Make a Difference Fatu? Like,
No.
where he was like he was telling kids not to be in gangs, and he looked like Owen Hart in High Energy.
No. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Never heard about this.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, it was. It was like Make a Difference, Make a Change. It was something like that. But yeah, it was
His name was actually Make a Difference Fatu.
That was kind of every video they showed the catchphrase. I don't remember what it was. Make a difference or make a change or be the change or something like that. And the whole concept was that he was keeping kids out of gangs. That was his whole gimmick.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if he turned heel and you found out that he was actually recruiting kids for his gang?
Yeah.
Do you know that that's actually a thing that happened?
What?
Yeah.
There was a guy who was allegedly a reformed gang member, and he became a youth counselor, and his whole shtick was that he was turning kids away from gangs. But secretly, he was recruiting them into gangs and had one of the largest gangs in California.
No way.
This isn't Tukey Williams, is it?
No, it was another guy.
It wasn't. It wasn't Diss, is it? Because that seems like
me.
a thing he'd do.
That's me.
All right, here we go.
Put my son's name in your mouth. You don't have a right.
There you go.
You don't have the right to even put my son's name in your mouth. You don't have a right.
I hate that line.
To talk about somebody that has laced up boots for 17 plus years, broken bones, broken body bones, sweat, tear, and blood in that ring, sometimes 45 minutes. Ladders, chairs match, split wide open. You don't have a right to open your mouth of what you think is right for a person when you finally win this so-called prop that you think. When was the first time, when did you ever get your ass in there and run a match 45 minutes?
He did have some matches.
Listen, I understand the the fatherly love, all that.
Yeah.
But Mark alert. I mean, he's just stating an opinion, and he has every right to mention Jey Uso's name. I mean, Sure,
I understand. Look,
Russo, I guess, but
I was thinking the same.
This,
Go
ahead.
No, I was thinking the same thing at first. Sorry.
Right.
You go ahead.
Go ahead, Marv.
I'm going to talk now.
No.
I defer. Go ahead.
I was thinking during this that I think it's okay because it's Russo and he was in the business and he's talking about it as somebody who was in the business from a writing perspective. You can't say this to a fan because a fan has every right
or
to voice
apparently
their
his
opinions.
father. I mean, my goodness, he's a little high strung about this thing. And didn't Jey Uso win a champion? He won the championships with his brother a number of times.
Singles title hits
It's
differently.
a singles title. It's different.
The singles title.
It is
differently.
Hey, okay. Here's as the utmost authority on Rikishi history in this podcast. Did Rikishi have a lot of 45-minute matches?
Not that I remember.
I don't remember.
No,
I don't remember a whole lot. I'm just
the
saying.
10-man Hell in a Cell match that he was in. He got taken out of it when the Undertaker choke slammed him into that hay truck.
I'm going into this a little blind. I did not see the Jey Uso video of him crying. Did it look authentic, for real?
Yeah, it was authentic. It was authentic.
Okay,
it was real. Yeah.
No, but I think the criticism is on Vince Russo as somebody in the business who is giving an opinion as somebody in the business. I think that's where it comes from. I don't like when wrestlers talk about fans and fans having opinions on wrestling where they're like, "You've never laced up the boots." Like you can't say fans. No, you're the target audience. If you're not pleased, then there's a problem.
Right.
So
yeah, there's something off about this debate. I'm siding kind of with Russo on this one, insofar as like I remember growing up. I don't remember the Iron Sheik crying. I don't remember Hulk Hogan crying in the middle of the ring.
Shawn Michaels did.
And there's where it all went to shit.
I'll put it like this: everybody's right. Everybody's right because this is becoming a trope that's being overdone.
Yeah,
which is exactly why it wasn't on the end of Raw and it went up on YouTube. Because now we're in this weird spot where because you have to show the gentler side or you need to make it more real. We have to do this thing where someone cries.
Seen it in crying.
You don't see a lot of crying in UFC.
No, he didn't.
You know what I mean? It's like so I get what Russo's saying in a sense of like, okay, how many times do we have to see this? But we also have to kind of understand, like, context is key here. Context is key here. This is a 14-year culmination. A family lineage, blah 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 blah. You were never supposed to be the guy, and you had an emotional moment. This isn't like, and I hate to trash her for it, but this isn't Bianca and Sasha having the open of their match stop because Bianca can't stop crying. It is a job. You do have to get in there, and you have to keep your emotions in check, even though this is a really big moment. So, like, they're both right. They're both right. It just depends on the context of what's happening.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm also with you on this. I have had it with the "This is my dream." I've had it with all the crying. I have had it with all that. I think that I don't want to see wrestlers crying when I've always said that the only time it's good for a wrestler to cry is when you win your first world championship.
Yeah,
that's acceptable.
Or when superstar Billy Graham destroys your belt. Then you can cry.
But like things like MJF sitting at the being a little weeping vagina sitting at the table with Tony Khan being like, my knee really hurts. Oh my god, I was embarrassed as a human male
because it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Monster
male.
John Cena cried all the time, dude. You guys are not remembering that correctly. John Cena would cry every time he got injured. He would come out and be like, "I love you fans so much. I hate taking time away."
But he was working. He was working.
That's why he's at work. There's getting sympathy. And
yeah, the 3 times that I say that it is okay for a babyface wrestler to cry: you win your first world title, you retire, or someone dies. Those are your 3 opportunities to cry.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
rough.
Hall of Fame.
You like the guy.
But again, it's listen, we have to be honest about it, right? When we're talking about wrestling, this is a sport that is supposed to be a throwback to the gladiator games, and which means it is an ode to hyper masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that it's not okay to cry, but for God's sakes, part of being masculine is being stoic. Which is why when it goes really bad and you do see the cracks in the foundation and you do get emotion, it is a big moment.
Right.
Now everybody is weeping and crying.
Right.
It's it's stop it. This isn't the effing Gilmore Girls. It's Raw.
Right. And I think Jay winning that Intercontinental title was an exception. I think that there was a reason for him to do that. It made sense at that point, and I understand why they showed it on YouTube and whatnot. I do agree with you though. When you see it happen to, like, I think Adam Cole cried a little while ago. MJF cried when they were,
MJF constantly cries.
He had to go do a push-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what that does though is that makes us more critical of the real moments like what Jay had. Right. It makes us more desensitized to it.
I think there's logic in that. Lisa B says Marv better not cry on his wedding day. It isn't on the list for baby faces. I'm not a wrestler. And if I was, I wouldn't be a baby face. I'm a heel YouTuber. But no, I will be crying like a bitch on my wedding day, just to let you guys know. But I'm not going to do it on TV at a time where I'm supposed to be a tough guy.
Anybody can pull up a pencil and write your fantasies.
All right, so I got to tell you guys a quick story. Good, and I think the chat's gonna get a kick out of this. So we're at my brother's wedding, right? And I'm one of the groomsmen. It's me, my other brother, and 2 of my brother's friends. And we're standing there at the altar. And my sister-in-law comes down the aisle. And my brother's 2 friends are crying. And I lean over and I'm like, you bitches. Like after the ceremony was over, I was like, ladies, do you have your tampons? Like I was riding them like nonstop. Mm-hmm. And like we're taking pictures of the photographers, like anyone needs to go to the ladies' room. And I was like, they do. Like I was relentless. Then my brother gets up at the reception and gives a speech, like gives a toast. And he starts mentioning like my grandparents who are gone. And I cried. And I could see his friends looking at me. And I'm like, crap, I have to say something. So I'm like, yeah, I cried at that. And I walked up to his friends at the bar. I put my arms around the 2 of them. I said, well, ladies, I guess we're sorority sisters now.
Oh God.
And they were like, you son of a, like it was really funny. Oh my goodness. I had a few drinks, by the way, when I was insulting them like that.
What you think an angle is supposed to be. But when you talk about my boy, when you talk about you didn't understand, you got right, motherfucker. You didn't understand. So if you got a problem with my son, if you got a problem with him winning the strap, the so-called prop, what your ass call it, because that's what you do. You that damn computer gangster, the one that want to talk behind online. Why you letting your fingers do the talking through your iPhone or whatever the case may be?
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, step up.
That host had money in his eyes.
Yep.
Let's do this. You ain't even gonna have my boy there. Me and you, man. Me and you. So anytime you want to open your mouth about the Anawai Fatu clan, and you
now he wants to cut a promo.
It's promo time.
By the way, guys, if a Samoan ever cuts this promo at you, do not accept the challenge.
Yeah. Walk the opposite direction.
Never fight a Samoan. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how small the Samoan is. Do not fight them.
You can fight Sonny Siaki. I'd be okay with that.
No, don't even do that. No, don't even do that because then you'll make enemies.
My boys or what my
Don't look at my
family
ass.
has worked hard for 75 plus years, man. This kid here bust his ass for 16 years, man. So you would know.
Wait, is it 16 or is it 17? Because it said 17 before. I'll give it.
So
to
he
you
was
guys
out
the
for
other day.
injury time.
Not true.
Never know
He's
that
there for
hard
17,
grind.
he worked 16.
Let alone not
54
being home
years.
for his kids. You know, traveling one side of the world to the next side of the world to do what he's got to do. There has to be a purpose for something.
Someone's looking
What
for
is
TV time.
What is it with you trying to, like you just trying to knock those that a moment that means so much to a person that's well deserving.
Oh, my goodness.
So I ain't hard to find, my man.
McMahon.
Yeah, he's completely all
out
eyed up.
Okay. Yeah, he's getting into Superfly territory here, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
what I'm
what
saying. Like,
intangibles.
he was working for that engagement. That's for damn
Oh.
sure.
So this might come as a surprise, but out here in the middle of rural Missouri, the closest town to me has a very large Samoan population.
That is a bit of a surprise.
Because
Better keep your voice down.
the local college there, they're a small Baptist university, and they give a lot of scholarships to people from other countries or territories of the United States. So there's a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Samoans out there, and yeah, they are tough guys. I'll tell you that. It's a rough place.
There
must be a soft.
I thought this was going to explain to us the geographical region of the area.
No. I'm not gonna go into that. It's just I will say that town, it's a rough place out in the middle of rural Missouri. There's like a rough place, and that's what it is.
How high is it from sea level? This
flowing around that town every waking moment of the day.
It's funny. It's funny because it's not that they come. It's that a lot of Samoans will go there on scholarship for football, and then they will get somebody pregnant, and then they will just stay there. And so it's
just like this. You just keep digging yourself deeper.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, it's cool. It's an interesting culture because there are
no, it's cool. It's just a little race.
No, there's the restaurant, like there's interesting food there. There's like a Japanese restaurant in the middle of it for some reason. I don't really understand, but it's just odd to have that kind of cultural difference in the middle of Missouri. You know, out of all places, I think it's interesting.
Little Samoa right in the middle of rural Missouri.
Yeah, it's like this weird little Samoan town in the middle.
It probably
of Missouri.
might be the same size. I don't know how big the Isle of Samoa is. I can't imagine it's very big.
I don't know.
Are any of them your friends?
Oh yeah, I'm friends. Yeah, I've been friends. I wouldn't say friends. I'm friendly with some of them. Yes, there's a couple that go to the church.
Better be.
Yeah, they're nice. They're typically nice people. I'll say that. Yeah. They're
just
the main.
Keep them talking. Keep them talking.
The white
do they have good ones? Are there good
white,
ones?
The white redneck meth heads are the problem.
What the hell is happening today?
The white redneck. Okay, the white redneck meth heads.
How are
the
you
problem
still going?
Because they're racist, right? And then they start the fights with the Samoans. And then the Samoans.
Well, they got that extra bone in their leg, so they're better at sports.
The Samoans don't
what
take
are you doing?
Crap, right? The Samoans don't take the racism the same way that they just beat them up.
They're proud. They're proud people, prone to violence.
I made all of that up. There's no Samoans anywhere near it.
Did you seriously just waste like 5 minutes of the show on a made-up story about Samoans in rural Michigan?
You just kept egging me on. I just couldn't stop.
This makes me
No, there's like two Samoan guys. They're really nice. They run along to that. I don't know anyone else there, but you just kept.
There's two Samoan guys in that town. There's the good one and the bad one. There's the one you shake hands with at church and the one you don't. Peace be with you, but not be with you, sir.
No, this whole thing started. I was just gonna say there's two Samoan guys sitting on the laundromat. They're really nice, and then it just escalated because you kept egging me on and acting like I was.
It escalated into a full-blown Samoan ghetto in the middle of rural Missouri.
It was funny. Marv, I always lean to the joke. You know, I always lean to the joke.
It's true. You didn't lean into this joke. You tope suicided into this one.
Well, you just stood on the outside of the ring and waited for me, dumbass.
You're right. You're right. Walking to that one. All right. Regina Sharp for $5 says the value of certain wrestlers is Tony wants his toy box filled. Wait, that sounded wrong. Oh, well, that is true. Like at the end of the day, a lot of these guys get re-signed just because Tony doesn't want to lose them because he wants people to say, I have these wrestlers. It's a collection. John Williams for $4.99. Read this comment theorizes why Moxley blades all the time. Apparently, massive blood loss can have similar effects to being drunk. I can't get it one way, so I'll get it the other. Is that true? Like massive blood loss can like make you feel drunk? I mean, I'm assuming make you lightheaded, right?
Lightheaded, I'm sure. Yeah.
I almost died from massive blood loss.
That's true. Let's ask the hemophiliac in the room.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it feels kind of a combination between alcohol and like if you take a lot of morphine or at the hospital or something like that. Have you ever been to the hospital and gotten morphine?
Oh, that's why all those girls in high school were cutting themselves.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I get it now. Miss October 30 for $2. Dave is a special case. F him, needs to go away. I agree. He needs to retire. He needs to stick to historical. Let other people in your organization. Kevin still can't believe I said what I just said.
I got a question. Who's next in line after Dave?
Alvarez, you think, right?
No. I'm not talking about just insular. I'm not talking about exclusively with the Wrestling Observer. Who is the next big? Is it Van Vliet?
Oh, I don't care. No. XYZ Noon for $5 says
Van Vliet's awesome.
Brian's retirement angle and so many other current AEW storylines feel like they were pulled straight from 90 2000 WCW. Yeah. The thing the having the guy do the I'll retire next time I lose, win the world title and have it go for a month, that feels like that 2000 era WCW. 100%.
The whole thing does. The whole thing does because it's not booking. It's it's the conversations that you used to have in your like hanging out at a bar or sitting at a restaurant with your friends after a wrestling show where you go, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? AEW is only those moments. There's no connection from A to B. They go, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? And they book up to that moment and then they have no idea what to do afterwards. It's exactly like Vince Russo. It's the Tony Khan even came out recently and said he books week to week. He had a meeting backstage where he told the wrestlers, we're not booking long-term storylines anymore. Everything is week to week.
Which, that was the thing they praised about him in the beginning too, wasn't it? Like Brian Alvarez was like, he's got everything planned out, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh, simmer down.
Side note, when we were playing the Rikishi clip, my wife walked in and said, are they playing a clip of your father?
Oh, God.
And for the chat, actually, I won't tell the whole story because we don't have time. But when my father I think he was in the gang unit. So he had a team of guys, and he had a Samoan officer on his team named Jimmy Strong. Legit, his name was Jimmy Strong. And my father tells about Jimmy Strong, the story either ends with or takes a turn with my father yelling, "Jimmy, no!" because he grabbed someone and in a feat of Samoan strength sent them flying through the air when he wasn't supposed to.
Oh, I love it. I
That's
love it.
Racist Samoan strength. Come on.
If you follow my Twitter, you know what you're in for.
That's true. Regina Sharp for $5. Hey, Dave has a special device that he uses. It's infallible. It's black, round. It has an 8 on it. And its results are always correct, except for when they're not. He's got it, right? Oh, will The Rock be at WrestleMania? Seems unlikely. Oh, okay.
Why would you put 8 on a vibrator? I'm confused.
Merge for $2 says the sock puppet has more cred than real Dave. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, especially ever since I've added the tongue, the crazy Dave Meltzer tongue to the puppet. CWJ 128 for 2 says, or dropping your belt to pockets. Haha. Yeah, that is true. AEW neckbeards for $2 Canadian. I think Rikishi wants to be in the bloodline. Yeah, he's angling for that TV return, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Alejandro Melendez for $1.99. If a Samoan hasn't fought a bear, I'm not scared. Well, you're right. You're in luck. They all fight bears. That's how they achieve manhood.
It's a rite of ascension.
Yeah, it's like their bar mitzvah.
And they don't wear shoes.
Yeah, only they fight bears on the mouth of an active volcano. Regina Shop for $5 says, "Oh, Godded for the story heel diss." MJG99, not this diss. I haven't laughed that hard in years. That was hilariously bad.
Having fun here. We have fun here.
Oh man, Alejandro Melendez for $1.99 says Samoans act tough when Kevin's dad isn't around. That's true because he's the toughest man alive. Craig Churchill for $5 Canadian says, I've listened to exactly on Van Vliet podcast with Aaron Stevens. CVV spent the whole show kissing ass. It was like the worst AEW media scrum. I'm trying to.
Isn't he nice to everybody though?
He's nice to everybody though. Like everybody. Yeah. He's just a nice man who loves wrestling.
I'm not really familiar. So.
I will never say a bad word about that man. That is a good dude.
And he got Cody Rhodes to come out and explain everything about what happened at the end of AEW too. So.
Wait, did he?
I mean, if you piece together all their interviews, I watched a YouTube video where they kind of pieced together all of the Cody interviews and kind of got a story about what happened at the end of AEW, and almost all of them are CVV doing it. Yeah, Jericho actually surprisingly seems like he played a part in the end of that. So,
really?
Yes. Yeah. If you read between the lines, it definitely sounds like Jericho. Jericho didn't understand the idea of EVPs. He thought it was a title and not an actual position, and didn't like the idea that Cody was running meetings and sending out memos and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's interesting. It was a terrible video.
Why can't I send out memos?
Right, exactly.
From the disc of Chris Jericho. Oh God! Oh, as you say, I said I've listened to exactly one Van Vliet podcast with Aaron Stevens. CVV spent the whole show kissing ass. It was like the worst day. Okay, I get it now. I understand now. Kevin Tramp of 5 says, when there's no more New Jack promos, can we just do a diss heel story time segment every week? No, no, we cannot. I refuse. And John Williams for $4.99. Look up CVV Jesse Ventura episode. Chris is shocked that Jesse has no plans to ever unite his friendship with Hulk Hogan. Why would anyone be shocked by that?
Because he's a sweet guy.
Time heals all wounds. I mean,
not
really.
What's your Jesse Ventura?
Jesse Ventura lives for revenge.
Jesse
Ventura better outlive Hogan, because 5 minutes after he's dead, brother, you know, it's just a good thing that this happened, because 10 minutes ago, Jesse and I reconciled, brother. We're all good.
7-Eleven down the street.
Jesse Ventura.
We met up at Buc-ee's, brother. We were over by the barbecue, and we both reached for the same fried chicken sandwich. And he said, "Hulkster, you were right to kill the wrestlers union that I tried to build." And I said, "I know I was right."
He sent me a nice, lovely DM. I'll never show it to you though, because it's private.
Did you guys? Did you ever watch the Conspiracy Theory Jesse Ventura show?
Yes.
You mean every time Jesse Ventura's ever talked?
No, he had a show called Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura.
It was incredible. We're here in Area 51, and if you step over this line, you'll be assassinated. The only person who has the guts to go up to that line is me, because
Jesse Ventura. I was a mayor. Are you saying a mayor can't cross that line? My favorite, he did a show where he went to Springfield, Missouri, and he's like, "There's underground bunkers run by the government right here, and I am standing outside of them." They hold cheese at Kraft owns.
That's what it's actually cheese. It's actually cheese harvested from the moon, because the moon is made of cheese, and there's a rabbit up there making mochi.
I would know, because I was a governor.
He did a whole episode about it. And then after the episode came out, Kraft put out a thing like, yeah, it's a government storage facility. We contracted out, and there's a bunch of American cheese there if you want to go.
Miss October 30 for $2 is Dave is jealous of CVV. I believe that. I believe that 100%. I think Dave is jealous of every other major wrestling reporter right now. Because I think Dave's got to know that he doesn't have the sauce anymore.
Him and
right?
He's jealous of him and what Ariel? How do you pronounce his name? Is it Ariel? Ariel
Hawani?
Yeah, Ariel Hawani. He's very jealous of Ariel Hawani.
Well, yeah, because Ariel Helwani actually, people actually talk to him that aren't Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. I don't think Will Ospreay actually talks to him.
Kind of.
All right.
Look, I think Ariel Hawani lost his UFC contacts due to Dana White, putting a blockade.
Well, Ariel Hawani got put on the kibosh from UFC a long time ago. Ant told that story.
I wonder if that's lifted. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
interesting.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we win a lot on this show, but today you guys are going to be you guys, especially Kevin Apollo, are going to lose.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Because it's time for the Mone Mag.
Come on, it's 10 o'clock. I thought it was New Jack time. I want to go to sleep.
From the desk of the CEO. Hey, Mone Makers. It's been another exciting week. We talk belts on the line, prepping and not prepping for a match, and why talent should create more outside business from their wrestling platforms. But first, a quick reminder to the press. When crediting us, remember, we are Mone Mag, your go-to digital magazine. We are not a newsletter. All right, now let's talk Mone. By the way, I say this every week. This is a goddamn newsletter. Oh. Emi Sakura. Now, we watched this live last week. We watched this match live, and it was a train wreck, remember? You guys recall this?
We do, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this match was atrocious, and she's going to sit here and try to tell us how good it was. I can't wait to hear what she's got to say about this. All right. So, Tuesday night at AEW Dynamite was epic. It's one thing to put both my championships on the New Japan Strong title and TBS championship on the line. There should have been commas there. That's why.
Jesus.
But it's another to do so against Emi Sakura. Emi is a Japanese icon and legend who's been wrestling for 30 years. That's like so long. She is a legend, and so she's called there a legend now twice. And someone I've
didn't
admired.
Make a dime.
Yeah. Didn't draw a dime. Someone I've admired and have literally been watching since I was 13. So it was so cool to beat her. So for me personally, as a fan of the sport, as Mercedes Varnado, who has a smaller penis than Mercedes Moné, I am more excited than normal. That was a Hulk Hogan joke.
That's on there?
No, it was a Hulk Hogan joke.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. It just took a turn.
Well, because Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea have different sized genitalia. So, where was I? It's crazy to think this is only the third time in my career that I've had the chance to face someone with this kind of longevity. There are really only two other times in my career when I faced women who were like super old. I mean, with more years in the business than me. I'm such a veteran. Natalia, the female living legend. Here's the part of the magazine where I
another WWE spotlight.
where I just gush about people that are in WWE. Because I don't have any friends in AEW. Let me start with Natalia, an absolute legend in her own right. She's been wrestling longer than me and has helped shape so many careers, including mine. My first dark matches, some of my first NXT matches, Natalia was right there beating the crap out of me. I still remember being in the ring with her and she would whisper things like, you're doing great, or amazing job, or I wish I was you, Mercedes. You're such a cool person. How could you possibly be this cool? I wish I was that cool. How do you be that cool? Can you please tell me, Mercedes? And I was like, God, Natalia, we're in a match right now. God. Honestly, that meant the world to me. Those little moments of encouragement, they stick with
World's
you.
biggest liar.
When I step in the ring with less experienced talent, I try to pass on that same energy. It's all about building confidence because trust me, we've all been there. I just don't want to touch them because like they're like dirty and
Be
gross.
confident you are losing to me.
Some people like to take less experienced talent and work with them backstage and teach them moves, but I just like to give them my energy in the ring when we're together.
I like pass my energy to them as I pin them. Because like while I'm laying on them and the referee counts for 3, in those 3 seconds, I'm actually transferring all my Monet energy into them.
Because
I don't know why whites, they count crystals.
Would you rather learn a headlock from Rebel or would you rather get Mercedes Monet energy?
Naomi was another veteran that I had the privilege of severely screwing over in her career. She hadn't been wrestling that much longer than me, but her ring presence and kindness were everything. Like, she's so kind, guys. Like, she doesn't say no. Like, if you're like, Naomi, can I borrow your lip gloss? She's like, sure. And I'm like, Naomi, will you completely sabotage your career by walking out with me because I'm mad about creative? And she's like, sure. She's a Naomi's the type of person who makes you feel safe in the ring, always guiding and encouraging. She's a total class act, just like Natalia. She taught me so much about psychology and pacing in the ring. We should all aspire to be Natalia and Naomi, human beings who love what they do, but do their part to lift others along with themselves. They are a blessing to the craft. Good Lord. Here's a picture of us before I sabotaged her whole career.
Where are they? At some sort of lab? What the hell was that?
Where was that? Yeah, looks like they're in this was the laboratory.
Stadium basement.
What is that?
And why am I dressed like a child's doll? What the hell are these shoes?
It'd be great if she gave her a belly to belly.
Ruining her career. 21
Right.
years of studying wrestling. As for my latest veteran challenge, I don't just want to win and put on a good show when I face her. As the New Japan Strong Champion and CEO, I want to show Emi Sakura that I am the true queen of Japan, despite not being Japanese in any way, shape, or form. I just think I'm the queen of Japan because I really like it, guys. Okay. You are not the queen of Japan. You are an American. You're an American woman.
Oh,
you what?
She's the empress of Japan.
Yes. Yeah. She's gonna have a buzzsaw kick from Asuka coming out of that.
That would be so fun to watch.
I want to impress her and show her that even though she's been wrestling for 30 years, I've been watching wrestling for 21 years. And Dave Meltzer told me that watching wrestling counts as experience. I've been studying moves for 21 years. I've been studying the game for 21 years. And he looks really cute in those little Speedos, guys. And take the craft as seriously as she and our Japanese brothers and sisters do. I hope she kicks you in the face. Ugh. Pre-match prep. It's always nice when you get some pre-match preparation in, when you can communicate with your opponent or people behind the scenes to discuss what story you're going to tell in the ring and how. And so far as my match with Emi Sakura goes, I won't have that luxury. Between the hurricane and other responsibilities, I haven't had time to train in the ring myself, let alone with her.
Wait. Is it real or fake?
Yeah, pick one.
Mercedes?
Pick a lane here, Mercedes. Also, between her schedule and mine, the first time we have direct face-to-face time will be when the bell rings. And in the fact that we speak 2 different languages, you can imagine the challenges. But guess what? That doesn't faze me. It's not the first time. I don't care. I don't care if you fought unprepared. She likes Prince Nana coffee, apparently. Wait, hold on. Does she say that she's doing something too?
It's like you're getting tired of your own segment there, Marv.
My voice is getting tired is what's
And
happening.
This is a lesser Mone Mag, clearly. She's talking about
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, what do you...
Yeah, so she's got Prince Nana coffee, Choco Pro, because considering
These just ads.
She runs. Oh, Emi Sakura runs Choco Pro. What is Choco Pro? I
Is
don't
it a
know.
company?
It's like Echo Pro, but it's for black people.
Sonya Deville. Oh my god, awful. That destroyed. That destroyed.
What is this show?
This is the weirdest episode we've ever done.
How are we on 2 weeks in a row of just sheer chaos?
This is the show now. This is what we're doing.
Oh man, it's really this is the Muppet Show of pro wrestling. I swear to God,
it is.
So Sonya Deville and Mandy have their own donut business, or did. Daria also flips houses in his amazing real estate portfolio. Oh my God, great match, no prop. All right, so here's what we want to do. This week's Mone Mag mentions. As you know, I can't always respond to your emails and messages, but I love reading them. I promise I do. I don't just like make Jennifer Pepperman read them and then tell her to like filter out all the weird ones. We will feature some of my faves each week, so please keep them coming. I'll also try to answer some of your questions in an upcoming issue, so please be sure to keep reading. This week, I want to give a special heartfelt Mone mention to AEW Disciplinary Committee, who says, hey, I'm Dis, and I stole a shirt from a Hulk Hogan fan when I was a kid. Oh my God, from the CEO, you're an asshole. Antoine Tolliver writes, hey, I'm Antoine Tolliver. Oh, no, he's from Mississippi. Hold on. Hey, I'm Antoine Tolliver. I'm 27 years old from Mississippi, and I'm a wrestler myself and a fan as well, especially a fan of you. I literally love you. Will you marry me? And enjoy everything about you and your career. Wish you the best and glad to hear your brother's doing well. Any advice from you, and I would love it. From the CEO, journal everything. Your journal will be your book one day. Record all your matches and put the best stuff on social media. Go be seen. From Ari Deshano. Hey, Mercedes. Yeah, so I do have a question for you on the latest episode of Dynamite. MVP handed you a business card. Does that mean you got to join him or not? Oh, my God, this question.
I know.
I think that if you did join him, you'd be unstoppable. But you already are. So, but still, another thing I want to ask here is plans for the future rivalry with Saraya? You two need to finish that story that never ended. I'm pretty sure that story ended when I broke her back.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was a fairly definitive ending. I think
I
you
gave
and
her an
Saraya,
elephant kick to the back.
I think you and Saraya got a rivalry going. It'd be like a CM Punk and Drew McIntyre kind of rivalry. I really love what you do in the ring. I can't wait to see what rivalry you got up your sleeve. Yeah, you know what? I keep telling Tony Khan, I want to beat Saraya. And then he takes it to her, and she calls me a wanker and says no. From the CEO, I really am unstoppable with Camille on my side. The CEO is always handling business, so I'll think about taking that phone call from MVP. As far as Saraya goes, I hear she just signed a new deal with AEW, which is perfect for us to continue our story, but she keeps calling me a bitch and walking away from me. She's really been pissing me off backstage lately, too. Thinking that her dog, Roxy, is cuter than Ryu? I think not. God, I hate her so much. Like, I just want to like break her neck again. Sonia says, that's a family thing. I don't want to read that. Brian Spooner says, Brianna Spooner says,
comedy out of that.
Yeah, I'm not mining comedy out of her ill family member. Brianna Spooner says, hey, Mercedes, hope all is well. I just wanted to tell you how much I truly appreciate these reads. Being able to hear how your week is going and all the incredible things you do is so amazing. Yeah, it's called Twitter, bitch. Look it up. I've been crew since 2015, and being able to watch you grow into such a huge star has been nothing but amazing. So proud of you. These past 6 months have been incredible. That moment was as a diehard crew member to be there live. Thank you. I can't wait to see you on my 30th in my hometown of Cleveland. From the CEO, thank you, Brianna, for coming to my debut for AEW, a big business. A moment I will never forget and cherish forever because how amazing that crowd was. It was like the last time I got a pop in AEW. You had to be there, and you were. You're the best. Make sure to say hello to your CEO in Cleveland, but like from the other side of the guardrail, because I find all of you disgusting. Gerald McKenna writes, good. It's another thing about her family. I'm not going to read that. All right, that's the Mercedes Mone Mag this week.
Before we get off Mercedes, real quick, am I, is it a hot take to say that she has something to do with Stephanie McCoy getting hired in WWE? Because I think she has everything to do with Stephanie getting hired in WWE.
Why is that? Because Stephanie worked with her once and was like, I'm not staying here.
Because I think they probably looked at that match and saw that she could carry Mercedes to a good match and said, hey, you know what? If she can carry Mercedes to a good match.
If they had a good match with her, she could have a good match with anybody.
I mean, I think it's become clear now that Mercedes can only have good matches with people who can carry her. And if you can carry Mercedes to a good match, then I think there's probably going to be a spot for you in WWE. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think she means that when she says that she got her job in WWE, but I think that she did have a part in it. I think, maybe not the way she intended, but yeah, I think she does.
Let's see here. Some super chats. Kevin Tramp for $5 says Jesse Ventura got his money. He doesn't care anymore. He even said so on that podcast. Also, he was a terrible governor. My mom hated him. So I don't know. I never paid attention to what he did as governor, but I can't imagine it was any good.
I have the
Liga
doll,
J80
Jesse the Governor doll. I have that in my basement. So.
Liga J81 for $2 says, is this Monet or Clover from Totally Spies? I never watched Totally Spies, so I'm going to take your word from it. It's more like I based the Monet voice off Lola Stumpy from Big Mouth. Regina Shop for $5. Chaos Dollars. Buy yourself a Choco Pro, Kev.
I'm actually in the middle of sending an email to my graphics girl to ask her to make me a Choco Pro shirt.
Good God.
There you go.
Tyler Golosinski for $5. Why is this doing Cat in the Hat meets Blue Man Group of meets the Wizard of Oz? Yeah, so you are QAcon tonight, right?
Yeah, I took the anonymous mask and I added the disc ears to it, and
the anonymous mask, also known as a Guy Fawkes mask.
Yeah, Guy Fawkes. Yeah, I was associated to QAcon. So
okay. Yeah, but anonymous isn't QAnon, is it?
Anon is anonymous. That's what anon stands for.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with QAnon.
I mean, they're all channed up together. Like they're all through 8chan and 4chan and different chans. It's all the same.
I'm drawing a blank. What does the Q stand for again?
No one knows.
No one knows.
The guy
I don't know. I don't know nothing about 4chan or 8chan. The only chans that I know are Jackie Chan and there was another one. But yeah. I'm just saying, his name is literally Chan.
About to marry in, and you can't even name one, huh?
This is true. Wolf Child for $1.99 sent
Christian
just $1.99. If you have some, if you were trying to say something, Wolf Chan, say something in the chat, and I'll make sure that one of us flags.
You called him Wolf Chan.
What?
Yeah,
you called him Wolf Chan.
Wolf Child, I meant. Oh my God, that I call him Wolf Chan.
All right, so you named two. All right.
Chris Chan. There's a three.
Wolf Child said, laughing my ass off, did a super chat and forgot the message. I'm an idiot. Oh my goodness. This has been a wild night tonight. Can you tell that I'm like on no sleep? All right, moving on. Yeah, I've been so busy. Like I'm working on an outside Tooney Town project right now, which is why I haven't had the ability to upload anything in the last 4 days, which is absolutely killing me. But hopefully after tonight, I'll be back to normal schedule. All right. Oh, and Jamie Earhart for $5 Canadian says, "Are we sure it was Shibata and not Monet that had their brain removed?" It has to be there to begin with to be removed. Okay. You guys ready for New Jack?
Always.
Good. Oh wait, I lost. I had the New Jack thing set up.
Neckbeard told me what it was, and I have been super excited since he told me.
He wouldn't
Okay.
tell me. He wanted me to be surprised.
I had this thing.
I made that up.
Hold on. I have to find it again because apparently I closed the thing that it was on. So let me go into. I have it in a chat. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Hi, Kev.
Hey, how you doing?
I think Awful's gone too. So,
No, I'm sitting right here.
All right, I found it. Stop talking. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. All right, Smoky Mountain Wrestling from September 3rd, 1994, year of our Lord.
Wow. 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, P.O. Box 1279, Morristown, Tennessee, 37816. Send for your brochure today.
That is true. He does. Well, you know, it pisses him off more. He's trying.
He's so good.
Look at that face.
Yeah, really. You caught him on a good one.
He would be all over.
Upside the head.
Oh yeah.
Did you understand? This is the beginning of a whole.
Did they like, you know, like most New Jack connections? Did they have a horrible falling out at some point?
No, they were tagging him before he passed away.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
good. They tagged in right. Yeah, in TNA even they've tagged for a bit.
Yeah, they were always close.
He's picking his nose right now, and New Jack is looking over at him like, "What the hell are you doing?"
We the wrong niggas to mess with, Daddy.
Oh my goodness!
Edit and post.
Oh my
edit
God.
and post.
I just want to point out. New Jack just dropped the N-word with the soft A, and then a screen comes up with Bullet Bob and Tracy Smothers on it.
Oh. Fantastic.
I love that. I loved every second of that segment. I loved the commercial. I loved everything about that. It was perfection.
By the way, Colin Taylor checking in from 50 big ones. Hello. Only doing one super chat today because yesterday my kids took my wallet and I to the mall, and only one of us made it back. So I have a question for Kevin Apollo. My son wants to be a wrestler, but all his ideas are derivative. How long does that usually last in a newbie?
Well, you can become an AEW superstar and ride it out until the cows come home.
That's true. That is true. Now, do you find that most new guys that start like they've got like very derivative ideas, or
well, yeah, because listen, you emulate what you like. So that'll if he's serious about it, once he starts training, with luck, if he's in the right school, he'll meet that. I like to call him the actual weekend warrior, like the grizzled vet who I could have made it but didn't, but like, you know, is actually proficient at what they do and cares, and you know they're live, you know, Friday through Sunday, they are that person, you know, and they'll teach them the right way. And once you kind of start learning how to do it, you kind of figure out where you want to go, you know, as your character, because ultimately the ones that do work are kind of hidden in you somewhere. And if it shades of something else, like you know, like you just don't know until you get out there and you start experimenting. You know, some of the, like, look at I'm trying to think, look at I mean, listen, look at Stunning Steve versus Stone Cold. They were two radically different characters. Even God, I'm trying to think of who was it that was kind of ripping off Eddie Gilbert for a while, and then they changed it up. I'm brain farting on it, but you experiment, and you're gonna pull from lots of different people, and you'll find this weird, funky amalgamation that works for you, and then just kind of go.
We could always use a new Jack.
Yeah, and you know, coming from someone who hasn't been in the business but has been around the business and a fan of the business as long as I can remember, there's really nothing wrong with being derivative either. I mean, you know, because I think you have to be derivative in order to find who you are as a character anyway. Take a guy like DDP, who when he started his career, he was just a very, very standard derivative slimy heel manager. That's what he was.
Vegas, right? Vegas strip club manager.
Yeah, straight out of every indie company you've ever seen. And he evolved that because his character as the people's champion wasn't that much different, but he evolved it to a way that he was at the top of the company. And it's just a matter of finding yourself.
Part,
and
by the way,
yeah,
I mean, he already looked the part. He looked grizzled, you know.
But I mean, but you still got guys like LA Knight, who I like LA Knight a lot, but he's very derivative of other wrestlers. But it doesn't mean that you can't.
He's an Attitude Era cover band.
Yeah, exactly. But he's good. And that's really all that matters. Because things that are good work over and over and over again. You can do the same stuff. It doesn't matter as long as it's good. Because you're always going to have a new audience. You're always going to have people that didn't see it before. So
I have the best thing to say is do what you're going to have fun with and then figure it out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's so crazy, gentlemen, is that footage was 30 years old. Think about it. When we started watching wrestling, think about back 30 years. Like for me, it would be the 50s. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my goodness, that's crazy to think that so much time has passed. And yet there are some gimmicks that just stand the test of time, could be used today. It's just amazing to think about.
Yep. Like Ricky Morton. That's who we were talking about, right? Ricky Morton.
I mean, you could talk about a number of people. Talk about, so.
Colin Taylor for 10 says, would rather my son become an adult film script editor than work for AEW. I have no son. Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
Till he shows him that paycheck.
Producer Neckbeard's being apologetic about the N-bomb in the promo and in the chat, but I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure New Jack was probably not the only person screaming that word on that night in that arena.
Soft A versus hard R.
Yeah, that's true. All right, gentlemen, that's about it. I'm about tapped tonight, both in terms of fatigue and time and voice and energy and topics. So we're gonna end a little bit early tonight, which is fine because sometimes we go a little bit late. It all balances itself out eventually. Awful Wrestling, you've got 10,000 subscribers on X. How do you do it, my friend?
Hey.
Tell us where you can find them.
AEW FUL Wrestling on X. And here every Tuesday on Tooney. First off, by the way, in the beginning, you said welcome to Tooney Town TV. Just wanted you to know that.
Did I really?
Yeah, you certainly did.
Oops.
But yeah, you can. Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. We forgive you.
Thank you.
But anyway, yeah.
I appreciate your forgiveness. I didn't ask for it, but I appreciate it.
I know.
I said, oops, not sorry.
Well, I'm all knowing and ever present. So
appreciate you pointing it out, dick.
Oh, you just wait till our show, buddy.
Oh my goodness. All right, continuing awful. Did you have anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
I had fun tonight.
Yeah. Dis, where can folks find out more about you and everything you've got going on?
Hey, AEW Disciplinary on Twitter. You can catch me there. TooneyDis.lol is our Discord. You can chat with me during Raw and SmackDown there. Maxed Out Media on YouTube. We are working on some long form stuff right now, and Max wants to do Minecraft videos, so we might be doing that. So you can find us there. And also, I do want to give a shout out John Marrero, who gave us a nice super chat at the beginning of the show last time. Was in the hospital. He had his dialysis machine, his dialysis thing fixed.
Yes.
He has gotten out. He is doing well. So I just wanted to send him the best wishes from the show. So
yes, huge get well soon, and we love you, buddy.
Shout
all right,
out, buddy.
Kevin
I stubbed
Apollo.
my toe just a couple seconds ago.
Thank you for interrupting.
That's
me
the
to
real
say that.
tragedy.
Yeah. Kevin Apollo, what do you got going on?
Well, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yes,
so
Thursday night at 8 p.m.
I have to watch Penguin as soon as we're done here.
Mhm.
And then I'll watch Agatha tomorrow.
I still have to catch up on Agatha. I got 2 episodes to catch up
I
on.
was like, or am I watching Agatha with you guys? I don't I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not going to be around tomorrow night for that, so I'm not sure. I gotta let him know.
I'll suffer in silence alone. Let's see. Yeah, I'll see you Thursday, and probably Friday if we're live on if we're live at 2 on Friday. Other than that, we have got 2 wrestling shows come up. Tommy had to back out because of the hurricanes. It kind of messed with TNA's schedule. So I'm trying to find a suitable replacement. But the show is still going on. So the first one will be October 25th at the Haverstraw Community Center. Our Halloween event called Fight or Fright. If kids show up in a costume, they'll get a nice discounted ticket as long as any first responders, DPW workers, and scouts. And then come see us at the Palisades Mall November 2nd for November Rain, where it was going to be ACW champion Dan DeMann versus Tommy Dreamer, but working on a suitable substitute. Other than that, though, Bull James will be there. Bull James will be there. I don't know what he's doing yet, but he will be there. And yeah, that's
for real.
Yeah,
can't wait. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you, Kev. If you have a flyer, I'd love to see it.
Oh, I'll send it. I will gladly send you a flyer.
You should send me the flyer so that when you're plugging the shows, I can put the flyer up on the screen.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. I don't know if the person was being serious, but I do have a quick story that'll probably answer your question. No, I have never been asked to be Tony Atlas's son, but Big Rick, when he did a little stint here in the Northeast, even though he had already kind of had a bit of a name as Big Rick, was forced to. Well, I don't want to say forced. But was requested that he change his name to Ricky Atlas, and he was christened the long lost son of Tony Atlas until he became Ezekiel Jackson.
Yeah, that is true. And weren't you guys tag team champions?
That's right. That's right.
Hey,
I was the Heat guy.
I just saw a video where Ezekiel Jackson is working out in the ring again.
Yeah, he was running the ropes and did a nice little bump.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. And for me, just make sure you're checking out Tooney Town TV we have Tooney Talk TV on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Myself, Kevin, Trish, and our whole panel will be on hand, and we're going to be talking all about the Penguin. We're going to be talking about Agatha. We're going to be talking about the Joker 2 box office. There's so much to talk about. As John JID said in the chat, Tooney Talk TV is going to be fire this week. So make sure you guys check it out. Also, we have channel memberships over there. Also, wanted to let you guys know we're going to be doing merchandise very soon. We're going to be opening a merch store. And I'm ready to announce the first 2 t-shirts that are going to be made available. Now, these are going to be limited edition shirts, and they are designed by the one and only Travis Heckle, Jim Cornette experience thumbnail artist. Number 1 is this bad boy, which I love.
That's
just
awesome.
Perfect, Travis. The other one he just gave me the other day, and I'm so in love with it. And there it is, debuting for the first time here tonight. Yes, that is Kevin Apollo giving me a back suplex while Neckbeard watches as the referee, with Dave Meltzer, Tony Khan, Aubrey Ed, and Mercedes Monet watching along on the outside of the ring. So
if you look in the background where the stars are, you can see me and this right back there.
He decided not to put you guys in, I guess.
which I actually kind of teased him about it because my character is based on Starman, so it would just.
Oh my God, that's so true.
But no, he's great. That was awesome. I thought it was. He showed it to me a couple. days
So
ago,
those we will let you guys know very soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, when those shirts are going to be coming out. So yeah.
And the pants are actually based off of actual gear because he was actually able to track down an ancient photo of me wrestling.
Wow,
it's hysterical. And of course, big thank you to AEW Neckbeards, the producer of Wise Man of the show. We love AEW Neckbeards. He is the wise man, the backbone, just the all-around greatest guy you could ever possibly know. And we salute you, sir. Thank you for all that you do. All right, guys, that does it for this week. From all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing.
Thank you!
I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks. For what?
Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you.
And viewers like you. Thank you.